in their best-of-5 opener. An hour from now on TNT, it's Game 1 in the Sun-Spurs series from the Alamo Dome and the TNT nightcap. The top seed in the West, the Sonics, hosting the Kings. I know that Bob and Hubie will pick apart the Orlando game. Let's talk about Miami and Chicago and the mindset that the Bulls have going into the postseason, Cheryl.
Well, first of all, if you're the Bulls, you don't win 70-plus games by overlooking your opponents. I talked to Phil Jackson. He said there are two areas defensively that the Bulls really need to concentrate on. That's defending the pick and roll with Zoe and Hardaway and their perimeter game. Pat
Riley has never lost a first-round series. That streak is in jeopardy.
Yeah, it definitely is in jeopardy. Before Miami definitely has a chance. They really have to just be quiet, though, and hope that they come in and catch Chicago sleeping or celebrating off their 70-win season. But if Rex Chapman has this game that he had last time, the 39 points, shooting threes that way, they'll have a great team. But I don't know if Mr. Jordan will let Rex do that this time around.
A convincing argument to take the Heat, but I think I'll stick with the Bulls. Coming right up on TBS, it's the 2-7 matchup in the East. Grant Hill, Joe Dumars, Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, Bob Neal, Hubie Brown, Craig Sager, Pistons Magic. It's coming up next.
Things break every day.
They shatter.
They fall.
They spill.
They smash.
They break down every day.
So we thought it might be nice to keep our prices low every day on things you might need every day. We understand you can't wait for a 3-day weekend for things to go on sale.
Because things don't wait for a 3-day weekend to break.
True Value. Help is just around the corner.
No one knows why they play Follow the Leader, but at least we know who they've been following. Sea-Doo is the best-selling boat in the world.
There's something about my hat that makes me feel mellow. When I wear it, I just want to chill. Some teams think I should wear it, even when I play. Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic NBA licensed product.
Elle devient plus petite.
Ogni giorno la rete globale di computer.
Pošperaj po dalekej starej bibliotece.
Gerðu litlu búin á Avalins að smá fjölþjóðafyrirtæki.
Curios? Vil IBM være hos dem?
Just plug in.
Com esse, o dia é bom.
The NBA's leading all-star vote-getter, Grant Hill. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. But tonight, Butterflies, this is his first ever NBA playoff game. As Grant Hill and the Detroit Pistons come into the arena to meet the Orlando Magic, the defending Eastern Conference champions. The Pistons surprised everybody, including their head coach, Doug Collins, with 46 wins. But they come in here to play Orlando, and if you read the Orlando papers and talk to some media people around here, you'd think Orlando's really struggling. Well, they did go 8-5 their last 13. They were 4-4 at home. But you hear kind of a little gloom and doom on the defending Eastern Conference champions.
Well, I think that they honestly thought they were going to end up undefeated at home. The emphasis is the 4 home losses in their last 8 games. But very impressive numbers. When you say 60 wins, you have the 3rd best record in the NBA. 104 points a game, you're 3rd in scoring. The percentage is right there, 3rd. Then you compound everything by saying they hit the 3-point shot. The assists are there. They're 2nd in the league on selfish, and they do not turn the ball over. 5 starters average between 13 and 26 points. Awesome offensively.
Incredible talent with Orlando. Detroit does not have a lot of talent. Doug Collins admits to that. They got there by hard work, dedication, and capital defense.
Yeah, well, they're 2nd in the league in holding teams under 100. They did it 60 times. They won 40 games. Why is that big? In the 4-game series with Orlando, Orlando only hit the magic number 100 once. In order to get it done, they have to come right in with 93 a game like they did over the season, 44 shooting percentage against. Take advantage of that perimeter game. They have 4 guys who shoot over 40% in their 7-man rotation.
You look at the NBA and you think of Jordan and Pippen, Stockton, Malone, some great duos. One of them maybe at the top, Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, this is awesome. You look at O'Neal, 26, 57, 11 rebounds in the top 10 in 4 categories. Anthony Hardaway right there, big numbers, but he will be guarded tonight by Grant Hill. Some big-time matchup here.
They're excited over the playoffs here in Orlando. They had 1,200 tickets left. As you see activity outside, those 1,200 sold out in 7.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by Jeep, makers of the new Jeep Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler, and by more than 1,200 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts, and by AT&T, official sponsor of the 1996 U.S. Olympic team.
Of all the improvements made to the new Jeep Wrangler, like dual front airbags and an easier-to-use soft top, it's the changes we've made beneath the surface that will really get your attention.
To get the most out of this Indy car, Patrick Racing put Scott Pruitt behind the wheel. They built a team that could get it in and out of the pits in the blink of an eye. And they chose a battery they can depend on to get it started. The Duralast battery from AutoZone. The same Duralast you can depend on to start your car. So don't settle for anything less. The Duralast battery. Power you can depend on.
Now you can launch your business into cyberspace. With a new toll-free 888 number from AT&T. It gives you all the benefits of an 800 number and a free listing on the internet, where millions of customers can find your number, check out your home page, and order your products.
Your order's flying out the door.
One small step for you, one giant leap for your business. Toll-free 888 from AT&T for the life of your business.
They say Gateway 2000 changed how the world buys computers. Factory direct over the phone. Now we bring you Destination.
It's a big screen PC.
This is cool.
It is TV and a computer.
It's huge. Oh my gosh.
He's going to want one of these, you know.
Where does it come out?
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. To find out more about Destination or our other PCs, call 1-800-GATEWAY. You've got a friend in the business.
Bob Neal, Hubie Brown with you at the Arena. The starting matchups with the Pistons and the Magic.
Well, big key. Mark West must stay out of foul trouble. And then down at the other end, we have Grant Hill going against the very dangerous Hardaway, and the post-up situation key tonight, Bob.
Going to be one great matchup. Speaking of matchup, some rough words exchanged during the season between these two excellent young coaches, Brian Hill and Doug Collins, but as you can see, that looks as though it's past them. Kevin Kiley, what do you have on anything between the controversy between these two teams?
Thank you, Bob. The last time these two teams met here at the Arena, it was March 19th. The Orlando Magic led by 20 points with 2.7 seconds remaining when the Magic's Anthony Bowie called a timeout, seeking his first career triple-double. Incensed Piston coach Doug Collins pulled his team off the floor. Bowie passed to David Vaughn. He got his triple-double. When he tried to explain to Doug Collins, Collins pulled away. Brian Hill, after the game, went to the Pistons locker room. He tried to apologize. Doug Collins didn't want to come out. An update before tonight's playoff game. I spoke with Doug Collins, says Anthony Bowie's a great guy. Even tried to recruit him out of junior college. I talked to Anthony Bowie. He's still delighted with his triple-double. I asked him, go back to March 19th, would you do it again? He says, no, I wouldn't. Back to you, Bob.
Well, there's the tip-off, and the Orlando Magic with the ball. Horace Grant reversing it. Orlando's Dennis Scott, Mr. Three-point, into Shaquille, and that's going to be a tough matchup all night long. Grant with the loose ball in the 16-footer.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch to see if Detroit can get away without double-teaming Shaq. They're saying, Mark West, you've been in the league a long time. Let's just use strength against strength.
Veteran Mark West will try to play Shaquille O'Neal. Here's Detroit's Allen Houston. What a season he's had. The kick out to Dumars. 5 on the shot clock. Allen Houston with 3 on the clock. Penetration lost out of bounds. That's going to belong to the Orlando Magic.
During the course of this season, Detroit does not get a lot of assists. The reason, an awful lot of isolations, dribble in, and then try to take it to the basket, one-on-one clear-outs.
Grant Hill defending Penny Hardaway. Problem with that for Detroit, Grant Hill getting in foul trouble. They want to avoid that at all costs. Here's Dennis Scott. 3!
Hey, anytime that you do the Shaq man, Shaq is outstanding with that diagonal pass. Now that you can see, he put that right on a rope, and they hit Scott, and he's always on the right side above the foul line.
Inside to Mark West, not an offensive threat. Tries to score inside Shaquille. Here come the Magic, leading 5-0. Foul before Shaquille had a chance to slam dunk the ball. Shaquille O'Neal's only played in 2 games in this 4-game series this year. It was 3-1 Orlando, and in the 2 games he only averaged 14 points.
Yeah, well, they doubled him hard earlier. They've used a lot of combinations on him, but they also would like to stay with the 3-point shooters and allow Mark West to play him one-on-one. Now, this is the dangerous thing here right now.
Hosting Hardaway. Kick out, Grant, 18-footer.
That's his game, Bob. We all know that if you hit him at that foul line to the top of the circle, he will shoot a very high percentage. 9 straight seasons, he has shot over 50%. Horace Grant.
Very young Detroit team, only Dumars and Thorpe really with real playoff experience. West some when he was with Phoenix. Speaking of Thorpe on the penetration and the foul down on the baseline.
I like that. Anytime you hit, take him strong. Now, this is the key matchup tonight. Can Grant Hill stay out of foul trouble? Good kick out, read the double team. And you know that anytime you play Orlando and the ball goes into the post, Grant has an option. He can stay up if he's wide open, or he can dive to the front of the rim.
Shaquille O'Neal picked up that personal, by the way, less than 2 minutes into the ballgame as Otis Thorpe goes to the line.
Yeah, I like that play. We'll see clear outs by Detroit, one-on-one basketball. We'll see an awful lot of screen and roll, or screen and spot up. When you spot up, though, you must attack the basket.
The officials here tonight, Mike Mathis, Bill Oakes, and Paul Mahalik, if you look at Doug Collins, decided that was not a shooting foul, so the ball will be inbounded sideline for the Pistons. Still yet to score. They are trailing 7-0. Mark West up and under.
Nice. See, Mark West is the leading active player in field goal percentage. Over his 13 years, he shoots at 57-58%, everything close to the basket.
Played very little during the regular season. Doug apparently holding him in case he needed him in the playoffs early, and that's what happens here as Shaquille takes it down low against Mark West.
Now you're going to see this. This is just a very nice move. You know, he's been around, head up and under fake, and come back with the outside hand, which was very well done. Now, at the other end of the floor, the Shaq man is murder. I asked Mark tonight, I said, what do you try to do with the big guy? I said, in your 13 years, you played every great center through the years. He said, Yubby, the big difference with this guy is he's just not strong. He is so agile. That's where you have problems. Yeah, with other guys, they're big, they're strong, but they do not have the foot quickness.
Well, what you do is you send him to the line like that, where he shoots only .487 on the season. 7-2, Magic, 9:36 to go. First period. Bob Neal, Hubie Brown with you from the arena. The defending Eastern Conference champion Orlando Magic. Grant Hill yet to score. Into Mark West, working against Dennis Scott this time, and he's fouled on the baseline.
No hesitation, and I like that. As soon as he saw Scott was on him, I'm taking him right down inside, strong.
First personal on Dennis Scott. Second team foul against Detroit, inbounded on the far sideline.
Yeah, Detroit, a smart team. They really take advantage of the isolations. They take advantage of the mismatches when you switch.
Grant Hill defended by Dennis Scott to Houston, down low to Mark West. Traveling was the goal.
I tell you what's interesting here is Mark West has had more offensive opportunities than he had the entire season. All right, I mean, this is just spectacular. Okay, we're talking about a guy, you know, who usually does not get a lot of shot attempts, usually 3 a game.
He's already had 3. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Magic. Hardaway driving on Grant Hill, kicking. Grant, Horace. That's Grant, Horace with the jump shot, and Horace is 3 out of 3 for 6 early, 9 to Orlando. Doug Collins said one thing he feared here is his team getting a knockout punch early because of their lack of playoff experience.
Yeah, as long as they get after these guys. Big difference is one is an offensive machine, the other is a defensive machine, but the offensive guys have more talent.
Allen Houston dished it to Thorpe, power player, but he had to face 2 on the shot clock. That did not beat the shot clock. The ball didn't draw iron when it got inside. The ball went to Thorpe. Thorpe turned around, saw Shaquille. That's when they had to take it back outside, and no shot attempt.
Now, we played 3.5 minutes. Grant Hill has not had a good look at the basket, and either has Houston. These are your 2 key offensive players, one averaging 20 a game, the other 19.
Down to Shaquille O'Neal again against Mark West. Pounds it inside, short jump hook from about 6 feet. It's 11-2, and you'll notice that Dennis Scott picks up Grant Hill. Dennis Scott and Grant are from the same area in Washington, D.C., played a lot of basketball together, even though Dennis is 4 years older than Grant, and in some ways, Dennis has a little bit of an edge psychologically on Grant Hill because they go back to their youth. Keel missing.
This is the guy. This is the guy that's got to get going.
Long rebound. Thorpe. Challenge against Shaquille. Nice move inside by Otis Thorpe.
Sure was. Beautiful reverse spin move, and then the hook shot. But they need Houston in transition. As many fast break opportunities they can get, and let him launch that 3.
As you see, Detroit not really a strong offensive team to begin with. Only 4 points here in the first 4 minutes. Dennis Scott, the rainbow 3.
That's going to bring raindrops or pigeons. No doubt about that.
Dennis, 2 out of 2 from beyond the arc. It's 14-4. Orlando struggling a little bit at the end of the regular season, looking very sharp here. And Brian Hill told us he felt his team was feeling good coming into this game. Dumars gets bumped, puts it up the tip in, will count. They don't call offensive basket interference.
Yeah, it should have been offensive interference, plus he was fouled on a shot, no doubt about it.
14-6 Orlando. Hardaway trying to post up Grant Hill. Grant tried to strip it, played pretty good defense on him there. Joe Dumars.
The Detroit, that's it right there. That's what they need, Bob. See, one reason being, the Achilles heel of Orlando is their porous transition defense. They don't get back because they're always posting either Anderson or Hardaway along with Shaq. So when the shot goes up, their guards get caught underneath.
Nick Anderson into Shaquille O'Neal again. Quick double team that time, leaves Hardaway open on the perimeter.
4-3. Oh, they're murder. They're 3rd in the league in attempts in 3s. They take 20 a game, and they make between 7 and 8.
Orlando 3 of 3 from beyond the arc early in this game. 5:57 to go in the first period. Grant Hill looking for his first score. Penetration kick out Dumars from the baseline. Joe Dumars in his 10th year out of McNeese State, the only remaining Detroit Piston from the championship years of the Bad Boys. Magic by 7. Dennis Scott whirling dervish. Shaquille couldn't rake it in. Look at him fight for the board. Scott, 3!
We have a timeout by Detroit.
What is it, Hubie? You and I see nothing but 3s. The Knicks 17 last night.
Grand Cherokee, 4-wheel and off-roads 4x4 of the year.
Enter the The Mission Impossible sweepstakes only at Foot Locker. You could go courtside with TNT or TBS, home of the NBA playoffs. Then watch for Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Coming May 22nd.
It started when you picked up your first ball. You were learning. Learning how to dribble, how to shoot. But there was more. Things that weren't as much fun, but just as important. Things that made a difference. You learned so much about this game. You even learned to love it. And just when you thought you knew it all, you learned a little more.
Yo, brother, if you're not watching Monday Nitro, you're missing the biggest, baddest wrestling show ever on TV. My pythons are pumped every Monday night at 9. Ringside and 100% live, exclusively on TNT.
We like to show you Orlando at their best. The basketball is here. The ball is going to go into the shack. Keep an eye as Dumars double teams. As Houston rotates, you're going to see Scott open up here and then Grant open up in the corner. Now just watch as it goes in. They have a 3-on-2 on the opposite side of the floor. Now Shaq has become an excellent passer. The key being that pass was a rope. Now Scott hits it again. Now watch out. Here he comes right in your face. That is 4 for 4 for the team, 3 for 3 for Scott. And also the Shaq man has 3 assists.
Oh, 3D. They're talking about Dennis Scott. 9 points. He's 3 out of 3. Orlando 4 out of 4. Detroit 0 from 2 from beyond the arc. Grant Hill has yet to have a shot attempt. It's 20-10 Orlando. And believe it or not, could be worse. 5:13 to go in the first period. Allen Houston inside to Mark West. The jump hook.
Now they just ran a beautiful double screen down on the baseline for Houston. Houston has not been able to get open because Nick Anderson is shadowing him and doing a great job.
Kevin Kiley, what do you have for us?
Bob, last time out, Doug Collins said, don't worry, we'll get our shots. The one thing we can't let them do is beat us to loose balls. They've got 7 points off that, 2 2s and a 3. Back to you.
Allen Houston missing the three-pointer. Grant Hill keeping the rebound alive. Remember, Grant Hill averages nearly 10 rebounds a game.
Hey, for a small forward, Bob, when a small forward gets you 7 rebounds for the game, that is a ton. You usually lead the league.
Hill, no shot attempts yet. Thorpe's going to take it hard to the hole. And dish it inside to Mark West, who's having a career night. 6 points already.
Hey,
I'm starting to look up his career high.
I want to tell you, A, great penetration, view, 2, beautiful bounce pass, and then how about the way he thundered that one down?
All right, Mark West had 15 one game this year. Shaquille missing inside, right to Mark West, and his career high is 27, so we'll keep track of that.
What he's doing, he's bodying Shaq, and he's forcing Shaq to shoot over the top of him. Now, just watch this penetration. Nice bounce pass. Send it home strong. See, that eliminates any of those soft things where they, A, you miss it, or B, they get a deflection.
Magic up by 6. 3:47 remaining in the first period. Grant Hill looking for something. His old local neighborhood buddy, Dennis Scott, guarding him, gives him the jump shot, and Grant Hill has his first shot attempt and first 2 points of the night, and the Pistons hanging in here on a 6-0 run.
Oh, this is nice to watch because now they're playing with a lot more confidence. They're getting their shots, and they're doing a better job at the defensive end.
Hardaway on the post. Murder.
No. He's going to shoot up over the top of any of his matchups. 6'7", long arms, and he has many moves with his back to the hoop.
22-16. Dumars looking for the penetration. It's denied. Otis Thorpe, 10 feet.
Oh, that's a costly foul.
Yeah, loose ball foul, a second on Mark West. And let's see what Doug Collins does. Here's a rare appearance of Eric Lechner. He has a ton of did not play coaches' decisions during the year, but Doug told us he might try to go with him to buy a little time early if Mark gets these 2 quick fouls, which he's done now.
Now, Reed, the rookie out of Georgetown, who started 46 centers for the 46 games at the center position for Detroit, is a little bit too small to handle Shaq. That's why they're going with Lechner right now.
Lechner only played 18 games all year. Shaq misses the jump hook again. Rebound Thorpe.
I like the fact that they're holding Orlando to 1 shot.
Lechner seeing his life flash in front of him here as he faces Shaquille O'Neal in the playoffs. Houston open for the jumper, not going down. They got to have Allen Houston hit the jump shot. He's 0 for 3 so far tonight.
Well, he shoots it at 43%.
Grant left all alone. Reminds me of what Charles Oakley does with the Knicks. When you double off of him, leave him the perimeter, and he's hitting, it's really trouble. He's 4 of 4 tonight for 8 points.
Well, the rotation has been late in this first quarter, getting to him from the weak side of the floor.
Grant Hill with the penetration to kick out. 10 on the shot clock for the Pistons. Down 8. Dumars. Hill, 4 on the shot clock. Houston, 3, 2. They don't get it up. Shot clock violation, but Paul Mahalik has a foul. May have bailed him out before the buzzer.
They have it. Oh, they have a block. They have a block.
It's on O'Neal, and that's 2 fouls.
Yeah, that's Shaquille. The Orlando players thought it was an offensive foul.
Once again, Jeep Grand Cherokee has emerged as four-wheel and off-road magazine's 4x4 of the year.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite. It's not your fault you exist, but gravity,
You are no friend of mine.
you do not belong in my house, though you show up every morning.
I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you. If only for an
Even
instant.
if it's just for an instant.
Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
Time changes. Nothing lasts forever. Either you change or you get left behind. Today's technology is amazing, but the batteries got left behind. Well, Railvac changed all of that. Renewal. They're alkaline like regular batteries, but more advanced. You can renew them, reuse them, and they come back strong. It's so easy to throw them in here. Why would I throw them out there? Play it smart. Railvac Renewal.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
We talk about Hardaway in the post.
Yeah, keep an eye on Hardaway with his left shoulder. Now, as he dribbles in here right now, you're going to see a great move. Now, hold it right there. You see how he bumped? He took that lead shoulder right into the chest of Hill. Now, as he goes to step, Hill is going backwards. It's easy to shoot that hook shot up over the top, the jump hook. Now, you can see what he's doing. Points a game. He's 11th in the league, 21 or 22 a game, the assists per game, and then also the steals. Having a sensational year, and we all know that when Shaq missed his 28 games, he stepped up and averaged close to 30, and during that period of time, he was getting to the foul line 11 and 12 times a night.
First substitutions of the game, Terry Mills in for Detroit. Koncak and Shaw in for the Orlando Magic. Koncak playing with a sore Achilles.
Now, this is where Detroit must take advantage.
Houston 0 for 3, 0 for 4.
Rebounding right now, Detroit 10, Orlando 6. Detroit with 4 offensive boards.
Penny Hardaway, Ryan Shaw. Hardaway moves to the off-guard position here with Grant Hill still defending him.
High screen and roll. See, they're just switching that screen and roll.
Terry Mills at 6'10" can back off Hardaway a little bit and still give him some problems on the perimeter. 24-16 the score. Orlando with 1 minute to go in the first period.
They should open up and let Joe take them.
Dumars with the drive. Thorpe with the score over Koncak.
I would like to have seen Otis Thorpe move and make it an easier pass because the catch should have been a dunk in that situation. When you see these mismatches, Orlando switches a lot. When that big man has a guard, that guard's got to take him.
Scott had to save it from going out of bounds. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Now Allen Houston defending Dennis Scott, who's backing him down. Bad pass. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Ryan Shaw travels through the lane, and Orlando gets the turnover, their first of the game. Detroit's only turned it over 3 times. But the Pistons have a chance to pull to within 4 after what looked to be, at least the first 7 or 8 minutes of this game, an offensive onslaught by the Magic. Mills. He's good from out there. Not this time. Just barely drew iron. Probably not what Doug drew up.
Well, it was definitely a design play where they dribble Hill down in there, hoping that Mills' man will go for the double team, and then you trail and you should be open for a wide open 3.
Detroit trailed by 10, 14-4. Down now by 6. Scott. Misses. 3 seconds.
Get it out. Waited too long. Waited too long.
Had plenty of time for a shot, but didn't get it. Grant Hill, in his first ever NBA playoff experience in 12 minutes, only had 1 shot attempt, but he did have 2 rebounds.
Thursday night on TBS is the time for heroes like Sylvester Stallone, Three movies, one night. Times like these call for men like this. Thursday Night Heroes, 10:05 Eastern Thursday. Turn to TBS.
Hurry into Pep Boys, where right now you can get any 4 all-season 35,000-mile tires for just $109. Any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires in stock, $109. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Some people say I've got too much on my mind. Movies, music, toys, correction. There's only one thing in my head, the championship. The championship. Because I got 10 fingers and no rings. And I love jewelry. That's what's on my mind. This is my planet.
You got room for a brother on your planet.
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Consider this powerful discovery. Right Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. An astoundingly clear gel. Thus, it goes on clear without any flaky white stuff, protecting one powerfully. For when it comes to protection, one shouldn't mess around. Right Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Hurry into Pep Boys, where right now you can get any 4 all-season 35,000-mile tires for just $109. Any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires in stock, $109. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Back to the sellout at the O Arena, 24-18. Start of the second quarter. Grant Hill only 1 shot attempt. And Penny Hardaway, really a tough guarding assignment for Grant Hill. Hubie, is in your view, is there energy expended beyond an offensive capability for Grant, having to guard him like this?
No, I mean, well, naturally, because he's so talented that he has to lay it on the line. But this is the NBA. I mean, you're talking about your best player. He's still got to get his 20 points and get his rebounds if you're going to win here.
So the answer is no.
Oh, absolutely not. Come on. I mean, the great defenders relish it. Michael Jordan was the best defensive player in this league for years and years and years. He still managed to get his 32. Okay. Plus his 6 rebounds and 6 assists, and then he would shut his man down.
Now they lob inside to Hardaway, and he gets the jam inside of Grant Hill.
Well, right now, if Grant's going to front, come on, you have to jam the passer. You cannot allow the passer to stand there and pick it out and then throw the lob.
Magic by 6. Grant Hill hard to the hoop, kicking it out to Terry Mills. Punched away by Concact with 9 on the clock.
I honestly thought that Mills should have let that one go. See, if you're going to front right now in the NBA, that's theft. See, if you come from the baseline side and the guy gets into the lane, it's an automatic. Now, in college, you can get away with that. In the NBA, you can't.
Allen Houston doesn't have a basket yet. He's over 4 from the perimeter. He's the leading scorer for the Pistons against the Magic. The penetration nowhere. Interior defense. Something John Concact brings.
Houston needs a field goal.
Oh, mercy. Dennis Scott was feeling that from the moment he looked at it. And Dennis already is 4 out of 5 5 on threes, and we've got a 20-second Detroit timeout. 29-20 Orlando.
Right now, Allen Houston needs a field goal. He needs a field goal to get his confidence going, and also because Scott is wearing you out at the other end of the floor, and that is his assignment. So not only is he frustrated at the one end, but he must get to Scott and understand the guy is on fire. Now, Dennis Scott this year has shot and made 267 threes. Now, that is a new NBA record. Look at McLeod, Blaylock, and Mitch Richmond. Last year, John Starks set the record in '95 by making 217. So 50 more for the season for Scott.
Here's Kevin Kiley.
Spoke with Dennis Scott before the game. He talked about his first ever NBA playoff appearance. He was nervous, would not take the three. He's gotten over it. Back to you.
Joe Dumars to Terry Mills. He goes into the game, does Mills, for his offensive production. Pass inside the Thorpe, out of bounds.
Too hard to pass. With this group out on the floor, your two main scorers are Mills and Houston, and then you're using Grant Hill and Dumars as distributors here.
Hardaway isolated.
Nice.
There's the double team. Grant's the open man. Didn't get it this time. Thorpe rebounds.
They're doing a nice job, Bob, on the defensive glass. They really are. They're doing a good job on the offensive part. But their perimeter guys right now are not getting their customary look.
John Koncak stepping out, trying to defend Dumars with the foul. We have 10:08 to go in the second quarter. Magic by 9. They've led by as many as 10 in this game. Here's Lindsey Hunter coming in for Joe Dumars. Hunter was the starter for the Pistons at the beginning of the season. Dumars replaced him about a third of the way in.
Well, Hunter started 48 games. Dumars started 40.
Terry Mills trying to get Horace Grant down the block. Grant with tough defense.
That's what he's known for. If you notice, no double team. Orlando never double teams when Grant is playing a man on the post-up.
Grant Hill trying to play Penny Hardaway. Did a nice job that time. Pistons on the run. They have the numbers. Grant Hill scores even though he's grabbed by contact. Big bucket from Grant Hill.
Now that was pretty. Don't grab the man. Grab his arms. Do not allow his arms to get up above his number. And that way, you'll never get the three-point shots. They said, get him on the arm.
The NBA playoffs, Hawks, Pacers, tomorrow at 8 on TNT.
Can what makes a car look good also make it safer? You'll find the answer in Dodge Stratus. Because along with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and ultra-high-strength steel door beams, even the car's shape helps us add side impact protection. It's nice to know that all that is in here, because all this is out there. Dodge Stratus, it's full of answers. Now during the Best Buy celebration, get $1,000 cash savings, 1.9 financing, or a low lease rate.
So what's the big surprise?
Knicks tickets.
American Express?
I got a little proposition.
Whoa! Hey, you got my ticket! Think again, my friend. Oh, there! American Express, the official car to the NBA.
Might have gone to the moon for these. Tell me about it.
Come on! Game starts in 20 minutes! And here we go! Oh, my... I'm coming! What is in there? He's looking good!
What?
Let's go.
Be a fan, not a fanatic. Look your best in NBA Authentics apparel from Lee Sport, officially licensed by the NBA, NFL, NHL, and Major League Baseball. Lee Sport, the brand for fans like you.
Up next on TBS, Michael Jordan leads the Bulls in pursuit of their 4th World Championship as they host Alonzo Mourning in the Heat in Game 1 of their opening round playoff series. So we have the number 1 and 2 seeds in the East on TBS for you here on this Friday night, our first Friday night of NBA playoff coverage. Both TBS and TNT quadruple headers. 9:40 to go in the first half. Magic up by 7, 29-22.
Right now, for Detroit, two of their primetime scorers that pick up a lot of shots out on the perimeter, and two of the best three-point shooters in the league. Allen Houston 0 for 5, and Mills 0 for 2. So they've got to somehow incorporate these two guys into this offense.
Detroit with a relatively small team on the floor. Terry Mills, even though he's 6'10", is more of an outside offensive player. Lechner, Mark West, the two big fellas as far as centers, are on the bench, and Grant Hill goes to the free throw line for his first opportunity at a three-point play here tonight.
Well, what you're trying to do when you go small like this is to make Shaq play Mills, who is really an outside player.
Brian Shaw being defended by Lindsey Hunter.
Now, this we thought we'd see early. This is the first time that they've really come down the floor hard.
Pick and roll. Penny and Shaq. Open man Shaw, 7 to shoot. Inside Grant.
Good movement without the ball. Grant backdoored his man and opened up and created that passing lane. Now Shaw tonight has not even looked to take a jump shot. So if you're running at him, run at him, but make sure he does not blow by you on the dribble.
Hunter with 10 on the shot clock gets it to Grant Hill. Nick Anderson on Hill now with Dennis Scott on the bench cooling off his hot hand. 3 to shoot for Grant. He's going to penetrate. Once again, no recognition of the shot clock by Grant Hill or the Pistons.
Orlando doing an excellent job switching on the screen and roll. Now that time he had Grant on Hill. You'd say, well, he should be able to take him. Well, Grant's not a patsy. He's really a good defender. And what happens? Otis Thorpe has got to get himself in front of the basket. That time he was on the other side of the lane.
31-23, Magic by 8, 8:41 to go, first period. Inside to Shaquille, nice pass from Brian Shaw.
Good back screen. Mills got caught up in all that congestion, and they read that well. Shaq is terrific, and he's excellent at faking going to the post and going to the rim.
There's the pass again, and traveling by Thorpe. Thorpe really struggling here tonight, and they need him down low as he's the power player.
Now just watch. Here's your back screen. Mills gets caught high, and the big fella, he knows it. He's not going to that box on the left side of the lane. He's going right to the front of the rim.
Anthony Bowie in the game. Of course, Bowie, the story of the controversy of going for the triple-double with Orlando leading by 20 and Doug pulling his team out to half court. They say that's all forgotten now. And Anthony Bowie, one of Doug's favorite players historically, recruited him when he was at Arizona State. Anderson missing badly from long range. Here's Hunter.
You got to get it out here now. You have numbers. Oh, wow. That was close, but that was not a carry.
Hill, that's a 2.
Grant Hill is not a three-point shooter. He made 5, and he only attempted 26 all year, so he only shoots about 19%.
Great defense there from Grant as Otis Thorpe tried to cross the mid-court line. Grant had a hold of his jersey, couldn't get him in the offense. The lob into Shaquille, he has 6.
Right now, Mills and Hunter are talking back and forth. Now, that's 2 plays that they have collided. Now, it just can't happen. Now, either you're going under the screen and roll, or you're switching the screen and roll, or you're trapping the screen and roll.
Barry Mills. Horace Grant right in his face. 6 to shoot. Great defense being played on the half court here by Orlando in the first half of this game. Rebound off the missed jumper by Lindsey Hunter. The run. Anthony Bowie gets it to Shaw, looking for Grant. Posted it. Terry Mills knocked him right out of the lane there, and the whistle blown by Bill Oakes.
Now, well, Mills right now is frustrated, and that was unnecessarily hitting him in the post area.
Here's Kevin Kiley.
Joe Wolf, coming in the game, still suffering the effects of an earlier concussion, says he still gets dizzy while he's on the court. But he just focuses on something, and the dizziness goes away, hopefully not in the middle of a shot. Back to you, Bob.
Just under 7 minutes to go in the half. 35-25. Make it 37-25. And that's the Magic's biggest lead of this ball game.
That was pretty. He took away the lane, and the Shaq man just drop-stepped and took it right to the rim.
Allen Houston looking to get something going. Can again. Mark West just back into the game. Inside, left-handed hook, Mark West. And Orlando has an 8-2 run stopped with that hook shot, and it's a 10-point bulge, and Mark has 8 points.
Yeah, keep going right at the Shaq. You want him to pick up that third.
He's carrying 2 right now. And Anderson with the penetration. Shaq missing, rebounding, and is fouled.
He got away with a push. He definitely got away with a push. He was under the rim that time, and there was a red shirt between Czech, and the next thing you know, the red shot is gone. Keep an eye on this now. Now, once it goes up, now watch what happens. As it starts to come off, see, he just clears you out of there and takes it back.
When does a car feel good? When things are easy to reach. So we built a cabin simulator that varies the location of almost everything the driver uses to drive the car. We moved the parts in and out and up and down. It wasn't until everyone was comfortable that we could relax. Dodge Stratus. It's full of answers. Now during the Best Buy celebration, get $1,000 cash savings, 1.9 financing, or a low lease rate.
If it fits a little better. If it holds up a little longer. If it feels a little more comfortable. Don't be surprised. We've had a little practice. It takes a little more to make a champion.
Here you go.
Thanks.
I travel a lot, but you don't have to play in the NBA to visit new places and meet new people. All you have to do is pick up a book, because when you know how to read, adventures come to you.
Today's story is Little Shaq Horner.
So no matter who you are or what you plan to do, learn how to read. It opens up a whole new world.
Shaq's gonna beat them.
It's a good thing he doesn't play basketball.
Now keep an eye on the screen and roll. As Shaq comes up to set the screen, you're going to see Shaw dribble over the top. Now you do one of two things. If you follow, then the defender must get up and trap. But if he steps back and you're supposed to go under, you cannot run into the screen. And watch what happens. Now as the screen comes, Hunter goes to go under. He runs right into the screen. And now, miscommunications, dunk.
Shaw has 5 assists. Orlando shooting 55%, 5 of 7 on threes, only 1 turnover in this game, and a 10-point lead over Detroit, 6:17 to go in the first half.
Your coach in Detroit, you're not having a good half. Your key scorers cannot get good shot attempts. You're only down 10. You're within striking distance here. You got 6 minutes to go. Hope to get it down around 6 or so. Not bad for playing what you would have to call a subpar half for you.
Shaquille 0 for 3 at the free throw line, but there's one person who doesn't care how he is. She loves him anyway. Lucille Harrison, Shaquille's mom. And O'Neal with his first free throw of the night. He's 1 out of 4. 38-27, Magic's biggest lead has been 12.
Well, the Shaq, you brought out a good point, Bob. He only shoots 48% for this season, 55 for his career.
Grant Hill looking to create some offense. Joe Wolf with the defensive board. Out to Shaw very quickly back. The lob. Tipped in beautifully by Nick Anderson.
That was a great catch and follow through. That was just beautiful. He did it all with one hand.
I don't think there's a better starting 5 in basketball. You know, if there are people in Chicago who would argue that.
You know what we should do right now? Well, that's why we brought up the point at the top that they're averaging between 13 and 26 points a game. Very well-rounded, and they all shoot a high percent.
Shaquille O'Neal was the pretty high percentage from about a foot away. 42-29, the Magic building on the lead, and Shaquille now with only 2 points in the first quarter has 9 here in the second period. That was a bailout pass by Dumars. Mills. The perimeter shooters and the scorers that Detroit needs, particularly Mills and Houston, not doing it, Hubie.
Well, I'm glad I brought out the point that they have 4 guys in their 7-man rotation that shoot over 40% in threes.
Mills 0 for 3.
Mills 0 for 3. Houston 0 for 5. Hunter can't buy a hoop either. And it's just, it's frustrating for Doug because they are getting fairly decent looks at this hoop.
Down by 13. 10 on the shot clock. Shaw, penetration, and the steal from Lindsey Hunter. They're going to give him a jump ball. And let's have a look at the Visa leaderboard. Grant Hill, assist leaders among forwards at 6.9. Just think of that. 20 points a game, nearly 10 rebounds, nearly 7 on the season, ahead of Scottie Pippen.
And he has improved his defense. He's really come a long way defensively, and he knows that he has to get better at that. But think of the energies that he puts out night in and night out. Plus, he is your #1 penetrator, and that allows you to play with 2 shooting guards.
Allen Houston looking to get something going offensively. That's his first bucket of the night. Now 1 for 6 is Allen Houston. He missed his first 5 shot attempts. Magic by 11. Detroit holding the score down relatively low here. Brian Shaw is fouled by Lindsey Hunter.
Well, I like what Orlando is doing tonight. They're taking advantage of all of the size mismatches, taking you right into the post. That time, Shaw at 6'7", shooting right up over the top of Hunter.
There's Brian Hill. Said he had a good preparation week with his Orlando Magic. Said he was concerned with the fact they went 8-5 their last 13 games, lost 4 at home down the stretch. But said he feels the team's regained their focus, and it looked like they have here tonight.
Well, Shaw, during the course of the year, injured his wrist, and he missed a total of 7 games. He's an 80% foul shooter, but what has happened this year is his three-point shooting has dropped to only 29%. Now, since he has been here in Orlando, he has definitely found a home, and he was a major contributor to this team on their march to the finals a year ago.
44-31 Orlando. 4:18 to go in the first half. Grant Hill back in the game. Small lineup, the exception of West on the floor for the Detroit Pistons right now. Houston, good ball fake. That's 2 in a row. If he gets hot, Allen Houston, one of the better scorers from the perimeter in the NBA.
He has a beautiful release. And what he's done is he's added the dribble penetration for the mid-game, that 10 to 15-foot jump shooting game.
Oh, they got Shaq posted way down low. That's usually sudden death. Missed the short turnaround. Here's Grant Hill. Allen Houston feeling it now.
Well, West's job tonight is not to allow Shaq into the paint.
Yeah, Allen Houston. That's a triple. That's 3 in a row. And Allen Houston is heating up, and that's what Doug Collins and the Pistons have been waiting for, and that's what they've been missing early in this game. Magic playing well and only leading by 8 with 3:27 to go in the first half. And Scott now first in Houston. Anderson denied the penetration out to Joe Wolf. Run down by Hill. Pistons on a mini run here with 3 minutes to go in the half.
Oh, they're in good shape. They really are. You know, Houston is feeling it now. The young guys are over there. Look, 7 guys on Detroit never played a playoff game.
There's Houston. Took Brian Shaw, got him off balance, drew the foul.
See, I like his gait right now. See, Houston is feeling it. Everyone's slapping hands with him, but he's walking now, you know, with a little bit of a little swagger out there.
Allen Houston, you know the story, as Joe Wolf goes back to the bench. Remember, he's playing a little bit dizzy tonight with that chuckling. Got a concussion last game. You and I were down here to broadcast. Son of the head coach of Tennessee at the time he played for the Volunteers. Very knowledgeable basketball player, as most sons of coaches are. As I think of Chris Collins, who's in this crowd here watching his dad. And there's Chris. How about this reverse? When Chris playing at Duke, we see Doug in the stands.
There you
now
go.
Here's Chris watching his dad. I wonder if he's as tense as Doug gets. Doesn't look it. And Hubie's son, right? Coaching at Wake Forest.
Yeah. Well, the Collins young fellow right there just had an excellent senior season.
Yeah, he did.
Unfortunately for him, he had the operation on his foot. Hopefully he'll be ready to go in about a month, that he can start working out again.
Shaquille has had a heck of a quarter, 11 points after that one. 46-38. Pistons trail by 8, 2:37. That stopped a 7-0 Detroit run, but Allen Houston now is really in rhythm. Hubie, what gets the guy going?
Well, come on, shooters are shooters. You know, shooters are not going to stop shooting, and especially when you have such a beautiful stroke as he has. We're talking about a guy who shoots 45% to threes.
6-point Magic lead. 2 minutes plus to go. Here's stripped by Grant Hill on an excellent play with 3 on the shot clock and a timeout on the floor with 2:08 to go. And the Magic will have 3 to get up a shot.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, official sponsor of the 1996 U.S. Olympic team, and by the new Dodge. We're thinking ahead.
Experience the excitement of your favorite Olympic events, now in commemorative cans of Bud, Bud Light, and Bud Ice. Better yet, if you get one of these special gold cans, you could see the games live in Atlanta. Look for Grab the Gold details wherever you see Bud Family Olympic packages. Just another part of the Bud World Party.
Most days, this is where you'll find Dodge engineers, turning ideas into trucks that break rules, minivans that set standards, and cars that change everything. But while working in here makes them great engineers, it's playing out here that makes them Dodge engineers. The new Dodge.
I'll tell you something. The way this point's going, get comfortable, because we could be here a while. Be here a while. Be here a while. Be here a while. Be here Great. More tennis. Super.
46-40 Orlando. Allen Houston has scored 11 points in 2.5 minutes. That's dazzling. And speaking of dazzling, here's Kevin Kiley.
Yeah, well, thank you, Bob. You've never said anything quite that nice to me before. You talk about 11 points in 2.5 minutes. Earl Monroe, a Hall of Famer, Baltimore Bullets, and, of course, the New York Knickerbockers. Earl, you look at Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Michael Jordan, some of these guys who played today. You were one of the true magicians and musicians, I guess, in the earlier days. What's your thoughts on the new players?
Well, I like to look at these guys. These guys are, really the epitome of what's going to happen with the game. They've been a, great asset, and I'm just happy to be a part of this whole scenario.
Has the game changed?
Well, the game's changed more so now, I think, when you look at the aspect of the three-point shot and other aspects like that. But as we go on with this, I think as we look at these guys play and what they do and how they execute, that's what we're going to look for the future.
All right, Earl. Thanks a bunch.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
Back to you, Bob.
With 3 seconds on the shot clock, Orlando commits an offensive foul, turning the ball back over to the Pistons, trailing by 6, and the foul is on Dennis Scott.
Earl Monroe, one of the great college players at Winston-Salem State, played for Baltimore Bullets, averaged over 25 a game, and then became subservient to team play in New York and won the ring.
Grant Hill,
New York
17. It's a 4-point game as the Pistons making a run here in the second quarter with 1:42 to go. Pistons have outscored the Magic 13-4 in the last 3 minutes.
A good move by Doug. See, he has Lechner in there right now so that West would not pick up a cheap foul before the quarter ended.
Dennis Scott trying to back in Lindsey Hunter, gets the double team. That leaves Anthony Hardaway open. Misses the 3. Rebound Hill, but he's fouled over the back by Brian Shaw. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report. Cheryl Miller, Chris Webber join Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios. Comments on tonight's first half. And Vern Lundquist and Danny Ainge will preview game 1 between the Heat and the Bulls in Chicago.
See, this is Detroit's tempo. Yeah, we're looking at a game under 100. If they could just keep it like this, stay within it. But once again, the premium in the second half will be to get their best scorers high percentage shots.
Grant Hill driving and kicking.
There you go.
From the corner, Joe Dumars, and it's a 1-point Magic lead. They've led by as many as 13.
That's why we brought up at the top, this team has lost 4 of their last 8 games in this building, 3 of which were against teams in the playoffs.
That foul's on Eric Lechner. And let's check it. first in the last 2 minutes, so it'll still be sideline out of bounds. Not that bad a foul.
No, not that bad at all. And that's why we say, that's why you have Lechner in there right now, just so West would not pick up a cheap foul.
Back to Nick Anderson, guarded by Dumars. Lechner goes out and fouls O'Neal again. That'll send him to the line.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, he's got the fouls to give.
Yeah, and the main thing is he's got to go in there now and make him. Now, Doug right now is bringing Mills into the game because what he's looking at here, he wants to make sure that in the second half, if you're close in that last quarter, you would have West and you have Lechner for size, you know, and bulk down in there to smack around with the big fella.
So Lechner and Mills and Houston, Dumars, Hunter. Mills will be on the floor momentarily. 1 for 4 tonight for Shaquille. Not a prayer that time. And, you know, when you get down to it in the nitty-gritty time, these free throws for Shaquille are going to come back and bite them.
Well, that's what happened last night with Portland. They play a great basketball game. They get down the wire, and they can't make their foul shots. How about O'Neal this season? 3rd in scoring, 6th in rebounding, 9th in block shots, 3rd in field goal percentage. Once again, he's in the top 10 in 4 of the key categories.
It's a 2-point Magic lead. The penetration, the kick out to Mills, didn't take the 3, takes it hard to the hoop. What a play by Terry Mills. And this game is tied with 35 seconds in the half. This Detroit team won't quit. They're clearly overmatched talent-wise. Anderson. That reach-in was a nice play by Grant Hill.
Hold it now. Hold it out. It's the Doug saying. Hold it out. Hold it out. Melt the clock. Get that last shot of the quarter.
Detroit could lead this game at the half after trailing by double digits most of this quarter. Hill on the kick out to Terry Mills. Misses for 3. Loose ball run down. 1 second. Grant Hill. Look at that shot. Grant Hill comes over and says hello to us as he rams into the table after taking the shot, and the Pistons have come back here and tied it. Allen Houston scored 11 points in 2.5 minutes when he caught fire in the second quarter.
Catch Inside Stuff Saturday mornings on NBC.
If we violate the laws of physics, will we be punished? Well, we did. We gave Stratus a new type of tire that offers the tread life and enhanced fuel economy of a tire engineered for efficiency, yet sticks to the road like a tire engineered for performance. A clear violation of physical law. Thus far, there have been no legal repercussions. Dodge Stratus, it's full of answers. Now, during the Best Buy celebration, get $1,000 cash savings, 1.9 financing, or a low lease rate.
Nobody knows the value of protection better than a quarterback. So take it from me. Your car needs protection from the sun. So don't just use any old stuff on the vinyl and rubber. Shine and protect them with Armor All Protector. Test-proof Armor All blocks up to 4 times more of the sun's damaging UV rays than the #2 brand. Shine's good, but it's not protection. Let's face it, my head shines, but I still wouldn't play without my helmet. So don't just shine your car, armor it with Armor All.
Don't get me wrong, when I'm banging them inside, lighting them up outside, hitting from the corner, at the line, above the rim, and down the hole. I'm not hot dogging. I'm just marking my territory. This is my thing.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
Hey, we got ourselves a ball game all of a sudden. A 13-point Orlando lead is gone. They're knotted up at 47. Ernie Johnson, Cheryl Miller, the Bullets' Chris Webber here in Atlanta, bringing you the Reebok Halftime Report. We already know about what the Orlando Magic can do with Shaquille O'Neal inside. Got 14 points in the first half to lead them, but he is also dangerous looking outside to the three-point threats the Magic have. Guys like Dennis Scott, who has been known to light it up. In fact, he's the NBA record holder, and take a look at it right here.
One area that you can't afford to do if you're Detroit, and that is leave Dennis Scott wide open and alone. Right there you see a blown rotation on Detroit's part. You cannot afford to give Dennis Scott an open look at the three-point shot.
He hit 4 of them in the first half. He's got 12 points. There was Orlando sitting pretty up by 13. All of a sudden, Detroit not getting many good shots. suddenly starts getting them in the second quarter.
Well, I think Grant has to realize that a bad shot for Grant might be a great shot for Otis Thorpe or Mark West. Those two guys don't need to shoot the ball. And as you saw, great players take that chance. You know, let the monkey be on your back. And what Allen did was he was 1 for 5 in the beginning, then he hit 4 straight in a row. And I think if those two realize who the players are, he, Joey D, Terry Mills, they'll be okay tonight. They just have to stay close in the game.
Chris, you think there was maybe some condors in the stomach in these Detroit Pistons? A lot of these guys, only really Dumars and OT have been there. A lot of young kids experiencing this for the first time.
Oh, definitely. They're nervous right now, and I can only imagine, you know, well, I've been there, but I know what it's like, and I know how nervous they are right now. But as the game wears on, as we see, they'll start hitting those jumpers, and the confidence will come back, and it'll just be a regular basketball game.
The confidence coming back in the second quarter as the Pistons rally to tie the game up at 47. When we come back, we'll whet your appetite for Game 2 of our TBS doubleheader. The 70-something bunch, the Bulls, meeting the 40-something bunch, the Heat. A preview next.
People say in the town of Flatwoods, the most exciting thing to do is sit around and watch the paint dry, especially when it's Behr Premium Plus, only from Home Depot.
It's going on so smoothly.
Nice color.
It's 100% acrylic.
It's like putting a plastic shell on your house.
And since Behr has a 15-year guarantee, these people know they won't be seeing this much excitement again for quite a while. Behr Premium Plus, the premium paint with a Home Depot price.
Right now, check out Honda's Solo promo. With no down payment, you can get the Shadow American Classic Edition for just $202 a month. Or the Red Hot Magna for $157 a month. Even the Shadow BLX for just $119 a month. How low can we go? Try financing as low as 9.9% APR. And no down payment on selected motorcycles and ATVs. Plus, special cash rebates on selected Shadows and all Magnas. So get to your Honda dealer now. We can't stay this low for long.
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Consider this powerful discovery. Right Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. An astoundingly clear gel. Thus, it goes on clear without any flaky white stuff, protecting one powerfully. For when it comes to protection, one shouldn't mess around. Right Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
There's a place in New York owned by the biggest sports stars around.
You know, I like them with long hair.
And you never know when they'll show up.
Long. Short.
It's the official All-Star Cafe.
Ed Griffey Jr., 301 lifetime average.
Where the owners are always willing to help out.
Excuse me, it's 302.
So if you go, bring the right stats and the right card. Visa, because the All-Star doesn't take American Express.
301 lifetime average.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
In their first round playoff history, the Orlando Magic just 1-3 at home, and they got a fight on their hands tonight, 47 apiece as the Reebok halftime report continues. Only 9 teams beat the Chicago Bulls this year, and their first round playoff opponent was one of them. But there are not a whole lot of folks who think Miami can do it 3 times in a best-of-5 series. Game 1 is our TBS nightcap. We take a look ahead now with Vern Lundquist.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. When the United Center opened a year ago, it immediately took its place as one of the great athletic facilities in the country. Fans come out here early because there's such a variety of options. In this store, for example, you can buy all kinds of Bulls paraphernalia, even an interesting hat or two. You can stand in front of this screen and watch highlights of the Bulls season when they won 72, or you can talk to a typical Bulls fan like this fella. You seem to be very interested in Chicago paraphernalia.
Yeah, I got Michael Jordan's putter right here. Helped my golf game a little bit.
You know anything about
Some hats.
basketball?
I know a little bit. I'm a big fan.
Do you play at all?
I played a little bit.
Well, give me your assessment. I mean, we got Chicago, Miami tonight, number 1 against number 8. Who's going to win this thing?
The Bulls. Michael Jordan. What do you think?
Well, you've heard it from a rather typical fan, and when we return here to the United Center, I'll be joined by my partner, Danny Ainge. Right now, let's go back to Ernie Johnson Jr. and Reggie Miller's little sister.
You know, Danny Ainge looks a lot like that fan. And big sister, little sister, what the heck's it matter? On to the Miami-Chicago thing. Does Miami have a chance in this?
If they don't win this first game, they don't have a chance. Tonight is all that matters. They have to win the first game so that they can see tomorrow, because once Chicago tastes blood, it's over.
What is it going to take from Miami's vantage point? And you also, you got Phil Jackson and Pat Riley with a little playoff history against each other.
Well, Tim Hardaway, first of all, has to get involved in the offense early. I mean, and extremely early as far as I'm concerned. Turnover is going to be a big key. Hardaway has to take care of the ball. And also the double team. Zoe's got to take real good care of it. If he sees the double team, he's got to be able to find the open player. Chapman's got to knock down the threes.
Any chance that Chicago would be overconfident in this thing, or do guys like Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen allow that to happen?
What makes them the best is that they have a chip on their shoulder. When you play the Bulls, they look at you as if, you're insulting me, thinking that you can beat me this year. And that's the ultimate confidence because they practice, and I don't think it's a chance for them to come in lackadaisical, not at all.
I think they've played a lot of games this year, too, with playoff-type intensity. You go into arenas where everybody's saying, hey, the Bulls are coming in, and they've got to pick it up every night, and they have done that en route to 72 wins. They play Miami in Game 1 tonight, later here on TBS. We're going to come back and wrap things up on the Reebok Halftime Report in just a minute. We got a good one going on at the O Arena. Allen Houston shooting Detroit right back into this thing. They're tied at 47.
Need a few parts? Pep Boys has everything you need.
Have a nice weekend.
26,000 items at the guaranteed low price, tires and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Looking for something?
Yeah, that dime from Sprint's long distance plan.
Having trouble finding it, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the dark.
Well, that's because depending on when you call, the Sprint Sense rate isn't always a dime. In fact, it could be a quarter.
That puts a whole new light on things.
And on average, most people can save more with AT&T True Reach Savings than with Sprint Sense when they spend just $25 a month. So, what do you think?
I think I found what I'm looking for.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
This is Bob. Bob's trimming weeds. Bob's using an ordinary nylon string trimmer. This is Frank. Frank's trimming tall, thick weeds, too. Frank's trimmer is equipped with the all-new Weed Terminator replacement head with serrated edge blades. This is Bob changing his trimmer line. This is Bob changing his trimmer line again. Frank changed his Weed Terminator blades in no time at all. Frank likes his new award-winning Weed Terminator. Maybe Frank should loan it to Bob. Available at finer home improvement centers and retailers worldwide.
There's a hunger on the highway, crunching down the road, blowing by those burgers.
Introducing Big Border Taco at just 99 cents. We added more beef, more cheese, tons more crunch. In fact, the Big Border Taco's so big, we had to beef up our trucks.
There's nothing ordinary about it, Taco Bell.
In the Western Conference tonight, 2 against 7, Phoenix and San Antonio. Check this out, 4-3. The Spurs leading the Phoenix Suns. David Robinson, a 2-run homer in the first inning. San Antonio continues to bat. Hey, Phoenix is playing without Michael Finley, but you still kind of like the Suns in this series.
Yeah, I was arguing with my buddy over there
imagine
about it. We were arguing about, I don't see Charles Barkley losing to David Robinson. I mean, you've seen the comments early in the season. San Antonio's beat us. They can win 60 games, but they can't beat us in the series. And I agree with Charles. I think the Phoenix has too much heart for San Antonio.
Wow, you guys both unload and double barrel tonight. Right here on TBS, the Pistons and the Orlando Magic. It's again the 2 against the 7 thing. 47 apiece. You're right where you want to be on TBS.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
Carbon monoxide isn't the only thing to worry about coming from your tailpipe, because with every stroke of your engine, motor oil is being vaporized into exhaust, leaving less and less protection. That's why there's Castrol GTX 10W30. Of every leading 10W30, Castrol provides the most protection against volatility burn-off. So use Castrol, or watch more of your protection go up in smoke. Castrol GTX, the most protection against volatility burn-off.
Steel, maker of the #1 selling brand of chainsaw worldwide, also makes a full line of trimmers with enough power to handle almost any size job. It could be one of the more useful tools you'll ever own. on steel territory, starting at $79.95.
You know, when you have something special, you don't just throw it away. Of course, years ago, we thought we could throw away anything. Just use it and trash it. Well, we're all a little smarter now. Instead of those one-shot batteries, I use renewal from Railback. Advanced alkaline power. You don't just trash them after one shot. You renew them, and they come back strong. They say the world throws out 20 billion batteries a year. We can do a lot better. Play it smart. Railback Renewal.
Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khakis.
You might call it Motown comes to Disneyland. It's tied at 47. The Pistons, trailed by 13, outscored the Magic 18-5 in the last 4.5 minutes of the half to tie it at 47. Kevin Kiley's with Doug Collins.
Doug, you trailed 7-0. You were trailed by 13 points at one point in the first half. It's tied. What's been the key?
Well, 4 turnovers. We did a good job on the boards. We did not let their bench come in to help them. But more importantly, I thought we just sort of survived the emotional surge to start the game. And I talked to our guys about that. And Allen had some good shots to start the game, and he just missed them. And I just talked to him about keep shooting the ball. It'll start to fall for you. But I was really proud of our composure. I thought our composure was good. And, you know, credit Joe D and Mark West and Otis for really being big with that stretch for us.
All right, Doug. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks, Kev.
All right, back to you, Bob.
Thanks, Kevin. I admit to being a little bit prejudiced, having being a partner with Doug Collins. But I've always thought if Doug coached the Washington Generals, they'd have had a better record with the Globetrotters, don't you think? It was an incredible second quarter, though, not to take anything away from Orlando, and it's still 47. And remember last night, you and I were just in Cleveland. It was 40-40 at halftime.
Right, you know, it is. Detroit, it's their tempo. They shoot 55%. You get a major bonus. Mark West gets 10 points in the first half. And then Houston pours in 11 in 2.5 minutes. Nice half. You're even. Your team is, the jitters are gone. 7 new guys have never played in a playoff game. Look at that rebounding advantage. A +9 for the Pistons. Otis, Thorpe, and Hill with 6 each. And then the field goals. Now, the assists will always be this way. The Pistons basically are a one-on-one type of a team, and they love to penetrate. The Magic, second in the league in assists. Now, keep an eye on Grant Hill as he tries to cheat on the baseline side. Watch him come around on the baseline, and then Penny Hardaway, smart, hooks him, takes him right into the lane for the lob. In this league, it's all over. Penny Hardaway with only 7 points in the half. Now, Shaw has 7 assists. This is just a great read down into the big fella. O'Neal with 14 points and 4 rebounds. Now, this is Houston heating up. He gives us a quick 11 points in the last 2.5 minutes of the quarter. Grant Hill, 9 points, the field goals, but see the key, the rebounding and the assists. Penny right now with only 7 points. Now, 3 for 8, not bad, but Grant Hill is right on him. And the key, Grant Hill is staying out of foul trouble.
Grant Hill handling it as the Pistons open up in possession of the ball, tied at 47. And we are underway with the second half from the O-Arena in Orlando, along with Kevin Kiley, Hubie Brown. This is Bob Neal. We've got a good one here. First round, Eastern Conference, seed number 2 versus 7. Detroit trailed by 13. Dumar's in trouble. The turnover, 3-on-1. Hardaway.
Oh, that was a big shot. There was a body bump, Bob, and he still got it up and over. Bad turnover at the other end of the floor by Joe Dumars. Shaq jumped out there and, you know, disrupted his dribble.
Off the glass, Otis Thorpe. He struggled at the beginning of the game, and we remain tied at 49.
He almost threw that ball up to the right top corner of the backboard.
Nice horse shot. Into Shaquille. Mark West, who had 10 in the first half. Grant Hill daring Hardaway for the 3. He says, well, thank you.
That was pretty. Hardaway right now, 2 for 3 in the game in threes. That gives him a big 10. But that's okay. That's a good gamble. They need Hill to help back down inside on the Shaq man.
Here's the pick and roll. Hill kicks it back out to Thorpe to Dumars. But you see Hardaway stepped right out on him. Here comes Mark West. Missed the reverse this time. He had 10 in the first half. Horace Grant pulls up from 15.
They're starting this quarter exactly like the first quarter.
54-49.
Doug Collins taking a 20-second timeout. Smart call. Regroup here right now. He's on them about their rotations, and he has a right to be, because in this early going, wide open shots, he wants a little bit more aggressiveness now, because you do not want to get down big again. You've already overcome that first half minus 13. Now this is Grant, who had an excellent first half. Horace was 5 for 6 from the floor. With this one, he's 6 for 7 from the floor for the game. Not bad. 3 NBA titles, last 15 games. Well, you see, you expect that for him. And that's why I brought up the point in the first quarter. The guy's been in the league 9 years. He has shot over 50%, 9 straight seasons.
And 6 of 7 tonight to go with 5 rebounds, by the way. And giving Otis Thorpe a lot of problems. Dennis Scott doing the job, defending Grant Hill.
Well, he's laying off him.
Oh, good
crossover.
strip.
Good strip.
Hardaway. Foul. That was a good foul.
And you know, he actually got in front of him. I thought that was terrific foot movement by Houston. Got in front. You know you're not going to get the charge call on there. Now just watch this strip. Now right there by Nick Anderson from the wing. And at the other end of the floor, you see he almost gets there and almost ties him up.
Sends him to the free throw line. Anthony Hardaway, who's a 77% free throw shooter, and it's a 6-point lead for the Orlando Magic with 10:06 to go, third quarter. Grant Hill, as you see,
look out for the trap. This is the first time we've seen it.
Runs the team from the point out there.
Yeah, the problem is you throw the ball up front to a Thorpe or a West out wide, and neither guy is known for putting it down on the dribble.
Houston hands it off to Thorpe from 10 feet. Otis struggling tonight.
Well, once again, you must create a good passing angle for the guy to hit you with the ball. And when you make the catch, if you get a chance to dunk the ball, take the dribble and dunk the ball. Why settle for a jump shot?
Inside to Shaquille O'Neal. Rims out. How did he miss that? Detroit only 1 for 3 field goals and 2 turnovers so far in this quarter. Looking for some offense here. Hoping to get it from the veteran Joe Dumars with a high pick and roll. Dumars says, here you go with a 3.
Well, Joe ended the half with that big 3 in the left-hand corner. Joe is now 2 for 3 behind the arc.
4-point Magic lead. They led by as many as 13 in the first half. Down low, Shaquille.
Mark West is doing a terrific job in not letting him into the paint. That's their game plan.
Orlando not getting back quickly, and Thorpe takes it to the hoop and draws the foul.
But you say, yes, but he's spinning to the baseline. Well, that's what we're talking about. Mark West said he is just so quick a foot. And you see, he just comes right back and shoots up over the top. Now, if you notice, Mark West's hand was right on his wrist, and he still put it down.
There's a transition defense problem for Orlando that they run into sometimes. Otis Thorpe saw it, beat Horace Grant to the basket and drew the foul, and that was Grant's first personal. We talked about Doug's coaching job. Brian Hill also has really matured as a head coach here, and it's become a cliche in the NBA, but it's tough to coach superstars. It's one of the toughest jobs in the league, and he's got a team full of them.
Well, the problem always comes down that anytime you got a great deal of talent, no one is satisfied unless you win the ring. Forget about 60 wins. Then they'll say, you won 60 games, but you didn't win by enough points. Instead of winning by 5, you should have won by 15.
Anderson called for the foul.
Well, right now, Brian Hill is talking to Mike Mathis. He said he wanted to foul. He caught him on the elbow.
Allen Houston, 11 points in 2.5 minutes in that second quarter.
Hey, give Shaq credit. He's jumped out twice now on screen and rolls this quarter.
Ball fake from Thorpe, took the 14-footer, missed it. Usually he hits that. Thorpe Can't get to Anderson in time.
Well, he could have. He could have gone for the block that time. Right? There's a saying, don't give a guy a layup at playoff time. Go for the block. You don't get the block, foul the guy, and make him make the foul shots.
Dennis Scott and Grant Hill played some rec and youth basketball together in the D.C. area where they both grew up, so this is not exactly a rare matchup between the two of them, even though Dennis Scott is 4 years older. 6-point Magic lead. Grant. Not this time, a little out of his range.
Well, they do a nice job of blocking out. Everyone's blocking out, and that, see, that's a bad turnover. You always run down the floor and you look at the ball. That time, Houston had his back to him. Now, this is just a strong move right here. But come on, Otis Thorpe was there. You've got to challenge the shot. Coming up for the turnover, Grant Hill threw the ball to a player not looking at him. And that is not Hill's fault. He thought that Houston should have accepted that pass, and they would have had an advantage.
All right, that's an offensive foul on Shaquille O'Neal, and that's his third as Grant Hill goes down, trying to get around O'Neal to guard Hardaway. He's tripped up.
Keep an eye on this now. I just watched the big Shaq stepped out and caught him with his hip.
6-point lead for the Magic. Grant Hill isolating on the right side. Wants a two-man game with Thorpe.
Let's see, Horace Grant, no double team. They allow him to play his man straight up.
Thorpe, boy, that's hard work down there. Offensive 3 seconds. Here's the ball on Otis Thorpe. Wave away the basket, and the Magic continue to lead it by 6.
Tough call, except a good call. Now, he was working hard. See, the entire time he's been in the lane area. Now, he takes the contact. Unfortunately for him, probably 4 seconds.
Keel now going in on West. Nobody will stop that.
Hey, the big fella is showing a lot of stuff here tonight.
He averaged, and only played 2 games in the regular season, only averaged 14 points against Detroit, but already tonight O'Neal with 18. Magic back by 8. They led by as many as 13 in the second quarter.
This is what I'm impressed with. Shaq stepping out.
Offensive foul, Mark West ran into Horace Grant.
Give Grant the credit. That was a sensational rotation.
Timeout on the floor. Doug Collins in the face of his superstar, Grant Hill.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by the GMC Sierra. Strength, style, and a little something on the side. And by Dutch Boy Paints. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Up here, I feel like traffic is miles away.
With Yukon's commanding view and accommodating size,
unlike some others, I have virtually unlimited capacity.
Yukon can make you feel invincible. Yukon by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
There's a place where UV rays beat down so mercilessly they're nearly twice as intense as the sun's. No, it's not some blazing spot on the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we test our exterior house paints to make sure they resist fading, blistering, and peeling. It's one of over 75 tests we do to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
From the Dream Team, Anthony Hardaway.
Penny on the break will drive and slam it in. Hardaway knocks down the...
I'm lucky I'm on the Dream Team. We don't need your help to get to the Olympics, but there are a lot of athletes who do.
Help them get there. Call now. U.S. Olympians receive no financial support from our government. They need yours. Every donor receives official Olympic merchandise.
We're going to show you a screen by Mark West as Joe Dumars dribbles over. Watch Shaq step out. Then, as Mark West rolls here, you're going to see this man, Horace Grant, their #1 defender, take the charge right in that area. This is just great team defense. Look at the Shaq step out. The defender gets over the top, and here comes Horace Grant in the rotation. Nice teamwork.
3 fouls on West now.
How about the turnover, Bob? Right there for Detroit this quarter. their 5th turnover. They only had 4 in the first half.
Anthony Hardaway being defended by Hill. Shaquille. West with 3 fouls. How did that not go in?
Over the back, over the back.
Saved by Grant Hill. Pushed out of bounds foul on Detroit. It's going to be on Allen Houston. Here's Kevin Kiley.
Doug Collins in the last timeout talking to his young team with very little playoff experience. He said literally, fellas, on the road in the NBA playoffs, you cannot turn the ball over. You've got to get back on defense, and we need to get good shots. Back to you, Bob.
62-54 Orlando, 6:28 to go in the period. They're posting Shaquille so deep, there's no way Mark West could stop it.
No, well, first of all, you can't front check. So you front check, they throw the lob to the front of the rim. They do it to every team. And they have excellent ball movement when the big fella is in the low post. Well, let's give him a lot of credit. I mean, the big guy knows how to read the defense.
Mark West down low. His shot doesn't go this time. O'Neal comes up with a loose ball to Dennis Scott. Good transition defense for the Pistons. They're going to go to this until Detroit double teams.
Oh, absolutely.
They did. Yeah, of course, Dennis Scott then is open for the 3. Not this time. Grant punched that ball away. Horace Grant doing all the dirty work tonight very effectively.
Now keep an eye down inside. You got to see, he's been spinning to the baseline. See, right now Mark was trying to keep him out of the middle, wanted to put a little pressure, but the big fella is so agile. He's so quick in reading the defender.
Nick Anderson gets beat by the crossover from Houston, who then throws the ball away because he got trapped in the air. Shaquille to Hardaway in the paint. And that pass is intercepted by Detroit. We've got to jump on. Our GMC scoreboard here tonight. The Phoenix-San Antonio score in the first period over on TNT tied at 20 apiece.
Detroit played a perfect half, taking care of the basketball with only 4 turnovers. Right now we have 6 in this quarter, and their heads are down a little bit right now.
Shaquille tipping it out to Nick Anderson.
They need a couple of defensive stops, hold them to 1 shot, get out on the break, get a few easy baskets.
Scott left alone. He's missed 2 threes in a row. There's Shaquille with that long rebound, and he's going to take it in on West again. We've got a holding call against Mark West. That's his 4th personal.
Well, it's so easy to say, hey, stop him off the dribble, put your forearm in his back. Yeah. And as he caves you back into the stanchion.
Detroit has only scored 7 points in this period with 5 minutes remaining. Horace Grant misses that long one. Grant Hill on the run. Thorpe pulled it out again. Time for Detroit to collect themselves. They were down by as many as 13 in the second period. As Doug Collins said, we just want to win 1 game. Orlando's goal is to win the NBA championship. 2 different teams in different places in their development. To Hill inside. That'll count. He beat the buzzer.
He sure did. Very difficult shot that time by Grant Hill.
Dennis Scott left alone. Horace Grant posted. Look at that spin move by Dennis. Grant, offensive board. Otis Thorpe is shaken up in the backcourt for Detroit. He's walking over to the bench right now. He did not even get down for that offensive series.
Well, it looks like an ankle. I don't know now. It seems to be on his left side. It's a leg injury.
Terry Mills will come in for Thorpe, and we'll get Kevin Kiley to look into that for us. Grant Hill just picked up his first personal foul as Horace Grant will go to the line. Here's Mills, and contact comes in for Shaquille O'Neal with 4:21 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's nice to see contact getting action here tonight. He had to sit out a number of games at the end of the season because of that Achilles. And remember, he has been a major key for this team when you consider the fact he started 35 games that Shaq was out with injury.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Otis Thorpe here.
Well, it looks like he stepped right on a foot, Bob, with his left hand. Yeah, definitely. You can see him right there. As he made that move, his left foot came right down on top of a foot.
Here's Kevin.
The report from the bench is that Otis Thorpe was kicked in the outside of his left leg, and they're going to put ice on it. Back to you, Bob.
Horace Grant hit the first free throw, missed the second. Grant Hill with the rebound. He has 10 rebounds tonight, does Grant Hill. That's what his average is for the season.
I have to give Orlando a lot of credit, Bob. They are doing a terrific job on the screen and rolls.
Kick out for the three. Terry Mills doesn't get it done. Shot clock was winding down. 9-point Magic lead with 3:55 to go in the quarter. Only 9 points have been scored by Detroit in this period.
Every time that Orlando catches Houston in a one-on-one situation, they take him strong off the dribble. He immediately comes up with both hands, and he gets guilty of hand checking. And he would just be better off just use your forearm. It's legal. You stop the guy, plus you're stronger.
3 personals on Allen Houston as Nick Anderson misses the free throw. Anderson, a 69% shooter, one of the unsung starters, if there is such a thing here in Orlando.
It's nice to have an unsung guy who gets you 15 points a game.
No kidding. 3:43 to go in the third. High screen and roll. Dumars and Terry Mills. Orlando playing that play well.
Yeah, see, when they switch, Grant can stay with them.
Dumar's going to run down his own long miss off the 3 attempt and take it hard back to the hole. Missed the lay-in.
Look out long.
Houston defending Hardaway. Terry Mills down there. Good defense. Grant. Oh, boy. Horace Grant playing big.
Well, Brian Hill better watch out now because he's on the verge of getting a tee. He's hot because he thought that Hardaway was fouled, but then again you had Grant coming up over the top to get that loose rebound.
They're going to give Richie Adubato a tee for that tie he's wearing tonight. Allen Houston knocked down, no call. He gets the 3.
Plays 2 for 4 tonight behind the arc. Poorly as they played this quarter, they're still here. They're under 10.
That's right. 9-point lead.
That's right.
10 to shoot.
And anytime you're a great 3-point shooting team, you're dangerous.
Hardaway gets the double team, but the foul is called, and it's going to be on Terry Mills. We talk about Horace Grant being the workhorse.
Now keep an eye to the left of your screen. Once this shot goes up, here's Horace up over the top of Hill.
This is TBS, home of the world champion Atlanta Braves.
Up here, I feel like traffic is miles away.
With UConn's commanding view and accommodating size,
unlike some others, I have virtually unlimited capacity.
UConn can make you feel invincible. UConn by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite. It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine.
You do not belong in my house. So you show up every morning.
I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you. If only for an instant.
Even if it's just for an instant.
Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
It's crunch time, and next up is Peter Mooney.
I'm going with a 67 pink convertible and 4,000 light bulbs.
Oh my, those are 40-watt bulbs.
The world is full of crunches, but there's only one Nestle Crunch. Creamy milk chocolate and crispy little crunchies. Now that's a crunch. Nothing sounds like a Nestle Crunch. And now there's Nestle Bunch of Crunch. It's a whole bunch of perfect little crunches.
Well, Detroit being outplayed by Orlando in this third period, but still a single-digit deficit with 2:34 to go in the third quarter. Here's what's happening in the Eastern Conference. Of course, last night, Hubie and I watched the New York Knicks hit 17 of 22 threes, and Atlanta got Indiana minus Reggie Miller. They take a 1-0 lead, and tonight, Chicago, Miami, and Orlando, Detroit. You might call it the marquee matchups tonight with all the superstars, but the East is looking still pretty interesting.
I think last night a great win for Orlando. Steve Smith has a big night, and then their inside people do a good job in holding McKee and Rick Smith. because if Indiana is going to step up, Rick Smith must score a ton of points, and the key must come in with some big numbers.
And Chicago and Miami will play tonight. We'll have that game here on TBS right after this one. And into the game for the first time tonight is Michael Curry for the Detroit Pistons.
Now, right now, the tallest guy out on the floor is Grant Hill for Detroit. They're going primarily with 4 guards and a small forward.
Doug said he might, if he felt the flow of the game, might try this kind of small lineup. Michael Curry, the former Georgia Southern CBA player, has played in about every league in the world. Allen Houston missing, doesn't miss many of those. Hunter tried to put it right back up, and he's fouled. Lindsey Hunter playing as though he's 6'10" down there.
Well, right now, with this group out on the floor for Detroit, they're going to what we call an open court pass and cut, a form of thing in basketball called the passing game. Keep the middle open. Let's take advantage of our quickness.
Lindsey Hunter, 70% free throw shooter, started the first half of the season. Dumars took over for him. He now backs up Joe Dumars. He's on the floor with Joe right now, and Michael Curry and Allen Houston and Grant Hill. It's a 9-point Magic lead, 2:18 to go, third period.
Well, this group coming down the floor now to apply a little pressure. But right now, you're Orlando. Post these guys up. Work them down inside.
Anthony Hardaway isolated out there. He's being defended by Curry, down to Brian Shaw, posting up the shorter Lindsey Hunter. Rims it out. Nick Anderson, big board. Back up strong, and the foul.
When you go small, you make yourself vulnerable to a team that has size and quickness. When you have Nick Anderson and Hardaway, they can get to the offensive glass. Plus, you have Scott out there with Horace Grant. Now, see, first of all, I can shoot up over the top of you, but then you've got to put a body. And a lot of guards are not accustomed to blocking people out down inside.
Dumars picked up the personal foul, trying to rake that ball loose, and the Magic back to a 12-point lead. Largest lead of the game in the second period was 13 by Orlando. Minute 50 to go in the third.
What you do when you're going small now, you're looking for screen downs, guys coming off, take the people off the dribble, go all the way, or drive and kick out for the 3.
Dumars drives and kicks out. Bad pass, though. Grant Hill has to step in from 17.
And he said, I like 17 better than 22.
He hasn't taken many threes. He said that's another part of his game he hopes to develop. Scottie Pippen was somebody who now can knock that 3 down with great confidence. Didn't do it well at first. Grant Hill stole it and then threw it back into the hands of Grant. And Dennis Scott nails a 3. How fast fortunes can turn.
Yeah, it's always the way. That was a hard figure right there.
As much, you might say, as a 5-point turnaround. Lost opportunity, and then the 3. Lindsey Hunter has a shot blocked by Hardaway, who then takes the ball, initiates the break, makes the pass, and has it blocked. But they're going to call the foul, and they're going to call goaltending. No foul. Curry got the ball on the goaltend. Doug Collins out here with instructions all the way to...
Right now, Doug Collins in Detroit better watch out. Now keep an eye on it right there. See, it hit the glass. Good call by Mihalik. Right now, you're down 15. Now, this game has gone from a 9-point to a 15 when they went small. So this is critical right now. You have to be careful. You allow Orlando in their building to get it up to 17 or 19. You're in deep trouble.
Got some beautiful matchups out west. San Antonio Phoenix 1-point ball game. The Houston Rockets came from behind to beat L.A. last night at the Forum. That's a great matchup. Sacramento playing at Seattle.
Well, the visiting teams last night all were in contention within the last couple of minutes. They played great basketball last night on the road.
Allen Houston gets the shooter's bounce. The Magic built their biggest lead of 15 points moments ago. We have 40.6 seconds remaining in the period. And checking into the game for his first action is Don Reed at 6'8", 250 out of Georgetown. He's the rookie. He started a bunch of games for Detroit this year, playing about 15 minutes, buying some time at center.
Yeah, well, he started 46 games. You know, he gives them 4 points a game and 3 rebounds. Does a good job. Runs the floor well.
Shaquille O'Neal on the bench, so he doesn't have to deal with that mass right now. 13-point lead for the Magic. 29 seconds in the period. Brian Shaw, 4-3. This team has so many perimeter weapons.
Sometimes we forget that Brian Shaw one evening made 10 threes.
Held the record until he gave the assist to his teammate Dennis Scott, who hit 11 against Atlanta, which is now the record. Dumars on the penetration, the kick out to Michael Curry. Brian Shaw has a chance. That's a nice block by Allen Houston. Horace Grant playing big in this game as we've seen him in so many playoffs before. 15 points, 11 boards. Orlando outscores Detroit 33-17 in the third period.
Up here, I feel like traffic is miles away.
With UConn's commanding view and accommodating size,
unlike some others, I have virtually unlimited capacity.
UConn can make you feel invincible. UConn by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
If it fits a little better. If it holds up a little longer. If it feels a little more comfortable. Don't be surprised. We've had a little practice. It takes a little more to make a champion.
Welcome Olympic basketball teams. As a host to this year's Olympic Games, me, R1G1, and the rest of American Dream Team are going to treat these guys for lunch.
We said we're going to eat these guys for lunch, not treat. Whoops.
To our team, when you need a world of purchase power, it's time to go for the gold. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
It's tough to shine on the football field, but it's easy to shine on the road if you use Armor All Protectant on your car's vinyl and rubber. And here's great news. Now there's Armor All for the paint. New Armor Plate Paint Protectant. Armor Plate does for your paint what Armor All does for the rest of your car. Shines, protects, and really makes those colors pop. Beautiful. And you don't have to wreck your arm doing it. Boom! New Armor Plate Paint Protectant. Hey, it's like Armor All for your paint.
Beautiful Orlando, Florida. After 12 more minutes of basketball, we'll be sending up to Chicago for the Miami-Chicago opener. Here's the scoring by quarters. As you see, Detroit did a nice job in the second, but only 18 and 17 respectively in the first and third periods.
Well, you look at the discrepancy there, and you look at the rebounding. Orlando out-rebounded Detroit 16-6 in that quarter. And when you think of the first half, Detroit walks off tied 47-47. They had a +9 in rebounding. Horace Grant put it together in the third quarter. 7 boards. He out-rebounded the Detroit team.
80-64 Orlando. 12 minutes to go in the game. Grant gets a rest here as we begin the fourth period. And Shaquille O'Neal is back on the floor, and also Donald Royal in for his first action tonight for the Orlando Magic. Brian Shaw continues to spell Hardaway. Triple team on Shaquille this time, very quick triple team, and Dennis Scott can't seem to miss from out there. He has 18 and 6 threes.
You know, 17 times during the season he made 5.
Has he taken the 2? I think so, and I think that's his only miss.
Let's see if he can get 8, because during the year he made 8 3 times.
Grant Hill with the penetration card. 83-66 Orlando. Anthony Bowie giving it to the big fella who draws the foul.
Right now, Orlando, very quick team out there with Bowie and Royal at the forward positions. You can see he just measures this one. 267 threes for the year. Last year, John Starks, when he made 217, everyone said, wow, what a year. Guy beats you by 50 the next season.
Mark West with 5 personals now. Talking about Dennis Scott, he's 6 of 12 total, 6 of 9 from three-point range, and 0 for 3 on his twos. There's Mrs. Scott, Libby, watching her baby boy. Mark West with that offensive board and the putback. It won't rattle in.
Now, Mark just cannot get it going in the second half. One thing is Shaq is not allowing him to bank the shot. He's forcing him wide so that he has to swish it from an angle, bad angle.
You're saying there was a subtlety there in Shaquille's game. He rolled to the lob, didn't get it, so he goes back and forths again.
So he's active tonight.
Hands it off inside to Brian Shaw. What a performance by Shaquille O'Neal. 20-point magic lead. Reminds me a little bit of last night's New York-Cleveland game. Grant Hill answers. It's back to 18.
We had a 1-point game with 9 minutes to go. Next time you turned around, they were 20-0.
Knockout punch. You and I have had 2 games where there was a 20-0 run.
An excellent game until that point.
Well, the Chicago game, that was at the beginning. Against Charlotte.
Now, Brian Shaw is really having a nice ball game tonight. He's got 7 assists and he's playing well offensively with the shot.
That foul's on Shaw. Dumars penetration of the shot. You can see the years on Joe Dumars. This is his 10th year, and there's no question that it's taken its toll. But Joe Dumars, one of the great guards in the history of the NBA.
Well, yeah, everyone says, you know, 3 rings for Joe, 5 All-Star games. But then when he was at the height, he made the first team all-defense 4 straight years.
Tomorrow night we continue our coverage on TNT. Atlanta at Indiana. The Hawks up 1-0 in that series. Portland at Utah again. Utah up 1-0 in that one. And our partners at NBC have a doubleheader tomorrow for you. 1 o'clock, New York will play at Cleveland. You bet Hubie and I will keep glued to that as we'll be on that series. Then Houston at the Lakers in game 2. Houston got the first game against LA out there, so that's a big one for Los Angeles. They don't want to go back to the defending champions. Houston down 0-2. Dennis Scott with another 3-point opportunity.
That's the 3rd player in this half who has taken Allen Houston off the dribble all 3 times, both hands down below. Watch him see. He gets caught again with the hand check.
The cruising spirit lives. Royal Star by Yamaha.
have to get some Dutch boy paid here. They're wearing it out in the paint tonight.
Yeah, the first half, the Pistons dominated the rebounding. We're all over the offensive glass. Look at the difference in the second. And then the Shaq man is just having a big game. Now, at the top, we told you, 5 guys in double figures for the season, average between 13 and 26. How about that distribution, Bob? They all stepped in big. They're all dangerous. You can't allow them a split hair of an opening because they'll knock in the 3 right in your face, and then you have this guy to disrupt your half-court defense to always draw the double team.
Dennis Scott made his first 2-point basket of the game just minutes ago. They don't call him 3D for nothing, and it's going to be a 3-point opportunity as he was fouled on a hand check by Allen Houston. 20 points for Scott thus far in this game. Make it 21. 91-70, 21-point Magic lead, 9:45 remaining. Mills has struggled all night tonight, and Detroit needed points from him.
Yeah, he just could not get in there. But, you know, they're quick. You got to give Orlando. That's the quickest that I've seen them, Bob, on screen and rolls, switching, stepping out. You know, they've really done an excellent job in the second half.
19-point lead, 9:19 remaining. Donald Royal sets the high bit for Shaw. Dennis Scott, 8 on the shot clock. Look at that ball movement, Anthony.
Watch where they excel. They're second in the league in assists, 25 a game. And at halftime, they had already 16 assists in the ledger.
Grant Hill, he's heating up here as Grant Hill now has 21.
Well, at this end of the floor, we tell you Brian Shaw's having an excellent game. The young fellow with the basketball right now. He has 9 assists, and Hardaway has 9 assists.
Dennis Scott.
And this guy keeps saying, I have no assists, and I don't want any.
Don't give me assists. Don't ask me to assist.
That's right.
Got a pretty decent one-on-one job defending Grant Hill tonight, even though Hill has 21. They've come late, too late, really. 10 on the shot clock for the Pistons.
Well, the difference between the two teams, one team lacks a post-up player, is trying to beat you off the dribble to create threes and high percentage shots. Screen downs, Orlando's fighting through. At the other end, you run the big fella right to the square. You know when he catches the ball. 2 guys must play him. It opens up. He's unselfish. He passes out. You're in trouble.
Coming up right after this one, 8 minutes, 16 seconds of basketball away. Chicago going for their 4th World Championship will open their tournament play against the Miami Heat and Alonzo Mourning. That could be a good series.
Now if you're over 6'8" and you're in high school or in college, you should be working on your game with the back to the basket, because baby, if you have talent, every team in the NBA could use you if you can score and cause a double team down inside.
Donald Royal really battling Hill for that rebound. That ball belongs to Orlando.
Yeah, Hill knocked back into Royal. Royal knocked back into Curry that time. Now just keep an eye on this now to the left. When this shot goes up, watch what happens. See, Hill, boom, into there. Curry gets caught on the back leg of Hardaway.
Good no call.
Oh, yeah. Everyone hustling.
7:51 remaining. Brian Shaw's played very well off the bench here tonight.
Oh, he sure has.
Shaquille, good pass to Bowie, slashing and draws the foul. Along with Kevin Kiley and Hubie Brown, Bob Neal from the Arena, where the Magic are making their presence very welcome here tonight. 95-75, up by 20 in Game 1, Eastern Conference first round. Orlando the 2nd seed, Detroit the 7th seed.
Stop and think of Shaquille O'Neal. This year, he had 2.9 turnovers. When you consider how many catches he makes, how many times he's double and triple teamed, he only has 2.9 turnovers. We have guys in this league with 3+ and 4 who don't even handle the ball nearly as much as this guy.
Nick Anderson gets in for Dennis Scott.
I admit, Shaq's first year in the league, he led the league in turnovers at 3.7, but every year he has dropped it down.
Michael Curry. Terry Mills just can't get it going tonight. Got his own rebound. That's one way not to miss. I want to go back and tell you where this game was, and we talked about this. It was very much like the New York-Cleveland game last night. We were tied at 47 here in Orlando at the half, and then Orlando went on a 33-17 scoring binge in the third quarter, and that's how we got to this 20-point game. Shaw set the screen for Shaquille to get the ball to the big fella. Anderson. Donald Royal stole that rebound from Lindsey Hunter. Grant Hill. Shaquille out on Mills and playing him pretty well out there. Certainly denying him any shot attempts.
Nice drive.
Allen Houston.
At the defensive end of the floor. See, when Detroit gets back, it's so difficult for them to come back in a rush from the defense. They were at the bottom of the league, 29th in steals, and then they're 20th in block shots. So what they have to do is play position defense and hope you miss. And unfortunately for them, Orlando not missing very often in the set.
I think Detroit's going to have to soon get into the game here as they take the three-point by Terry Mills, and he gets his first one of the game. They're going to have to come off the bench with their power. Rodman and Sally and Vinnie Johnson.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
When you think back of the guys who did not start for the Detroit team when they won the championship, it was awesome.
We have a timeout on the floor. 6:06 to go in the ball game. 99-82 Orlando. We'll be back.
You said you had fished here before. Don't start me. Okay?
You're lost, aren't you?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on, you can admit it.
No.
Come on, tell me.
I'm not lost. I know where we are. I know it's here.
Looking for something?
Yeah, that dime from Sprint's long-distance plan.
Having trouble finding it, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the dark.
Well, that's because depending on when you call, the Sprint Sense rate isn't always a dime. In fact, it could be a quarter.
That puts a whole new light on things.
And on average, most people can save more with AT&T True Reach Savings than with Sprint Sense when they spend just $25 a month. So, what do you think?
I think I found what I'm looking for.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
If it fits a little better. If it holds up a little longer. If it feels a little more comfortable. Don't be surprised. We've had a little practice. It takes a little more to make a champion.
Make no mistake, Spitter is here.
Orlando by 17, 6:06 to go in this ball game. Game one of the Eastern Conference first round play. Here's how it happened in this game. Shaquille O'Neal got off to a slow start. Mark West played him well, and Mark West scored some. This is Shaq's only basket in the first period, but nevertheless, the Magic built a 13-point lead. Come the second quarter, Allen Houston, who was 0 for 5 from the floor, gets on fire, scoring 11 points in 2.5 minutes. Then in the third period, not only did Horace Grant score, but he out-rebounded the entire Detroit team with 7 boards, and Shaquille right now with 21, and his team leading 99-82. Hubie, you said at the beginning of the game, Detroit's going to want to hold this hopefully in the 80s, maybe the 90s. Orlando scores 100, going to be tough to beat them.
Yeah, absolutely, because they just don't have enough weapons, Bob. And during the season, when Orlando won the series 3-1, now there's a major cog that's on the bench for you because he's your second-best rebounder, Otis Thorpe. Plus, he's a guy that has to score for you if you're going to win in the series. He's your third leading scorer at 14 points.
Remember, he went out with that twisted ankle. You saw a crutch in the picture there. Coming up, Miami and Chicago. We'll check in with Kevin in a minute, see if there's any further update on Otis Thorpe. If he has anything more serious than what they first thought, that he was kicked in the lower leg, it could be a problem. I'm not making any guess, but you don't like seeing the butt end of a crutch in the picture. Otis Thorpe not playing here, only 10 points in the game. They're still working on him down there. You see up in the calf area.
In the second half, Orlando 19 for 32 from the floor, 59%, and then the big key, only 2 turnovers. The tempo had to be in the 80s, low 90s for Detroit to win. Well, that's obvious. It's not going to happen tonight, but the team still has to win 3 games. No matter what happens, it's only 1 loss. You just have to correct things, get your guys better shot attempts, and somehow corral that big fella, 32.
Nick Anderson got careless there with this 17-point lead, lost it out of bounds on the pass. 5:34 to go in the game. O'Neal, by the way, only 3 of 10 from the free throw line here tonight. And Lou Rowe is getting his first action in the game for Detroit. Rowe, the rookie out of UMass, 6'7", 220.
That's one of the very few times that Detroit has scored off of their screen downs, coming out off the corner, reading. They've done a bad job on that, and they've had a difficult time with the screen and rolls. You got to give Shaq a lot of credit because he's been out there doing a terrific job.
That's what Donald Royal does best. Slash to the basket. He scores and 1. Kevin Kiley, you have any update on Otis Thorpe?
Yes, I do, Bob. I guess the Pistons' difficulties pretty much coincided with him going out. He has a contusion on the outside of his left leg. They expect him to play in game 2, but it's sore, and he will not be back tonight. Back to you.
Yeah, and you're right. The rebounding really took, even though Thorpe was struggling tonight, his presence has obviously been very important for this Detroit Pistons team.
You need him in there to keep Horace Grant off the offensive glass and also keep the defense honest. Now, Donald Royal, in November, had bone spurs removed from his foot, and he missed a ton of games here. This is a guy who was a major contributor for them a year ago off the bench.
Lou Rowe, the high screen and roll, can't get the ball. Here's Lindsey Hunter. He's fouled on the reach-in by Anthony Hardaway. This is the 100th playoff game for this man from McNeese State, Joe Dumars.
Remember when Joe came into the league? It was great. They pick him. He goes 18th in the first round in '85. He had scored over 22 points a game for 4 years at McNeese State. Came into Detroit very quietly, a great defender, could handle the ball, play the 2 position, play the 1 position. And then they had those other 2 guys that weren't bad, that Isaiah Thomas and that guy Vinnie Johnson.
One of the great 3-guard rotations in the history of the league.
And you know what was terrific? That no one was worrying about size. You know, no one was saying, you know what, they're all kind of small. They're all too small.
They don't have a true point. They don't have a true
guard.
They had a true.
They had guards. That's what they did. They did everything.
Right. You know, we talk about best point guards in the East. You know, if you think about it, probably the best point guard in the East, Michael Jordan. You know, when you start talking about guards.
I like what we're seeing here because the substitutes are coming into this game playing hard, attacking. Then they bring back their starting unit guys. Everyone is intense this half. The first half, they allowed Detroit to shoot 55%.
Grant Hill with his first NBA playoff experience. Allen Houston the same.
The main thing is, like you tell them, you know, the game is over. You forget about it. You have to make your adjustments. The coaching staff tonight, tomorrow at practice, you're ready to go on Sunday.
Check and see if Anthony Bouy's working on a triple-double.
See, once again, look at the Shaq stepping out there.
Reed missing. Grant rebounding. 104-86 Magic. That's 12 for Horace tonight.
See, once again, Horace rotated over there and disrupted that pass.
That was a pass that would have broken the hand of most. 3-on-1. Reed nicely back to Hunter.
In this game, one of the very few uncontested layups at either end of the floor.
3:50 to go. I don't think Orlando's really getting nervous yet, but it is 104-88, 16-point lead. Nick Anderson.
Well, Nick is always dangerous. He's an excellent post-up player, has a terrific game from the foul line down. At the University of Illinois was just a sensational player. Was the first player drafted, underclassman, first round in the expansion draft, and he has been a good one. Three-point player, shoots 44% for you in 3 points.
Anthony Bonner coming into the game for Orlando. We remember him with an excellent stretch run with the New York Knicks last year. He was waived, not picked up, been playing in Europe, and I think this is a good pickup for the Orlando Magic down the stretch. Good defender.
Well, when the Knicks picked him up, he played extremely well at the power forward, a small forward position for him. Played in 19 playoff games over a number of seasons. Good pickup, because if Joe Wolf remains with, you know, something, the fuzziness because of that concussion, and then also contact. If contact should go down, you have to have quality guys who can play big for you.
Terry Mills, boy, he has been defended tonight. Every shot has been hard work.
Nice job by Royal, fronting Reed in the low post.
Oh! Just throws up the prayer. Loose ball foul. It's on Orlando. We have a timeout on the floor. Just under 3 minutes to go in this game. Chicago, Miami next on TBS.
You said you had fished here before. Don't start me.
You're lost, aren't you?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on, you can admit it.
No.
Come on, come on, come on. Tell me.
I'm not lost. I know where we are. I know it's...
Yeah?
There's a place where UV rays beat down so mercilessly they're nearly twice as intense as the sun's. No, it's not some blazing spot in the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we test our exterior house paints to make sure they resist fading, blistering, and peeling. It's one of over 75 tests we do to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
In Denton, Texas, a lot of folks who work on their cars go to AutoZone because they know they're going to find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and good people like Tom Robinson. You see, Tom's the kind of guy who really likes to help folks out. And since he's been around cars most all his life, he knows his parts, too. Oh, sure, there are other parts stores in town. But when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Tom, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
106-88, Orlando got this one in the bag here with 2:57 to go. We talked about the East earlier. Here's the Western matchup at 10:30 Eastern time on TNT. Seattle against Sacramento without Sean Kemp.
Yeah, Seattle, though, is still a very big favorite. And going into the playoffs out there, no one would be excited if you saw Houston beat the Lakers, right? Or Portland, who ended really strong once they had Sabonis and Strickland in the lineup, upset Utah. And then you look at the other series, Phoenix, if healthy, has the ability to upset even a San Antonio. And so those series are really toss-ups. But you know that the quality of the teams out there, they can come back. Even if they get, you know, 1-1, you come out of there with a split. You're looking for a 5-game series at a lot of it.
You like Seattle earlier. You still like them?
Yeah, I like them. I think they're playing great basketball. I like their 9-man rotation right now. They don't seem to be having off-court problems, on-court problems. Everyone seems to be on the right page. And when you think about it, Chicago won 72 games. Seattle won 64 games.
San Antonio having their way with Phoenix 58-44 at the half tonight. However, San Antonio's got big problems, and here's the big problem. I'm walking through the airport today. The cover boy, Sports Illustrated, David Robinson. You know what that means. Trouble. They call him Saint David.
Well, David Robinson had a smashing season this year. He did everything. And he made them a much better defensive team. But with the addition of Charles Smith and Will Perdue and Herrera, they definitely beefed up that power forward position.
Yeah, frankly, I like San Antonio. 106-89. In other words, that's who I'm picking. 222 to go in this ball game. And the Magic hoping to just get Detroit out of here in 3 games and move on to the second round. As Doug Collins said coming in, this is how far apart our franchises are in talent and development. We're hoping just to win 1 game in this series, and obviously any more we can. But Orlando's not only looking to win, they want to get 3. They want to go on. They're thinking NBA championship.
Well, remember, just 2 years ago, Orlando went out in the first round to Indiana 3-0.
That was the beginning of a maturation process for this team that's really helped them. Hardaway, 4-3, yes. What a player. Anthony Hardaway, everything they said he'd be when he was at the time, Memphis State. It was Hardaway, Weber, Weber, Hardaway, Hardaway, Weber. Weber goes to Golden State, ends up now at Washington. Hardaway comes here to Orlando and has really found a home.
But the big thing about that trade that you love, they not only got Hardaway, but they also got 3 first-round draft picks. All right, to go along with it.
I said Chris Webber went to Golden State and then to Washington, and of course now to our TBS studios where he's working with Cheryl Miller and with Ernie Johnson tonight. Talk about an all-star lineup. That was a 20-second timeout that's been changed to a full, and the Magic are up by 20.
Some people say I've got too much on my mind. Movies, music, toys, correction. There's only one thing in my head, the championship. The championship. Because I got 10 fingers and no rings. And I love jewelry. That's what's on my mind. This is my planet.
You got room for a brother on your planet.
Look carefully at these ice cubes. Do you see a subliminal message? Do you see a beautiful naked woman smiling seductively at you? If you do, you probably just need a girlfriend.
Somebody should do something.
Oh, his poor mother.
Oh, my goodness. Nice pants.
Dockers, flat front khakis.
I should have gotten a dog.
No. 109-89, Magic by 20, minute 28 to go in this ball game. To recap for you, this game was tied at 47 at the half as Allen Houston poured in at 11 in 2.5 minutes in the second quarter. Then the knockout blow, which will be listed as the knockout blow no matter how it ends here in the fourth, came in the third when Orlando outscored Detroit 33-17. Chicago-Miami standing by. The Bulls, everybody shooing them in for the championship. But first they've got to win some games in the playoffs.
Nice to see Joe Wolf make that field goal. We were here in the Indiana game where there was a collision right at half court. He was kicked in the head accidentally and picked up a concussion and has not fully recovered.
Reed in trouble down there. Bonner commits the foul with 56.9 to go.
Major stat tonight, Bob. Detroit, the second best three-point shooting team in the league at 40%. Tonight, only 5 for 18, 28%. They live and die with that. Orlando at the other end of the floor, 10 for 17, 59%.
Well, Doug Collins told us beginning of the game, he said this team is more talented than our basketball team. If we play a perfect game, if we can get them some way into not playing a perfect game, we can win. Otherwise, we're in trouble. And, of course, he's known that. They did win one game against Orlando during the regular season. It was Magic 3-1.
I always remember the finals, L.A., Boston. And I always remember this when you talk to your teams. L.A. played Boston at Boston and lost by 40-plus points in Game 1. Everyone was saying, sweep, sweep, sweep. I'll never forget it. They came back 2 days later. L.A. wins the game and then goes on and has a sensational series. So you just don't get upset in Game 1. The main thing is that you go back, you recover, and you touch up your offense, you touch up your defense, you make a few changes, do some adjustments, look at what didn't work offensively, what did, how you can change it, and you go right back, into the laboratory. Oh,
Michael Curry, that's what he did at Georgia Southern that caught the eye of NBA scouts after he played in Europe and for the Global League and the CBA. There's lift.
Bob, he was going to finger roll that and then changed it. He changed his mind.
Rowe gets the rebound with 17 seconds to go. Magic 112-92. It's going to be a 20-point win for Orlando here. They come back and play again on Sunday. And then Hubie and I will be in Detroit. And we might say this, Detroit has played very well in the Palace. So that could be a better ball game up there, but Orlando looks mighty tough at home. Remember, they went 40-0 before L.A. stopped that home court winning streak, and they're looking pretty darn strong here with a 112-92 victory tonight. Orlando outscores Detroit 65-45 in the second half to get the 20-point victory. And Kevin Kiley is with Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq's picking up his hat and throwing it back. 21 points, Shaq, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. They tried just about everything on you down low, but you kept going to the board.
Yeah, we just wanted to come out and get this first one out the way. When we came out, we played hard. We played with a lot of intensity, and now the first one is out the way. Now we just want to try to get the one Sunday.
They closed the 13-point gap in that second quarter, tied it up at the half. What was said at halftime in the locker room? You guys came out hot in the third quarter.
I mean, we knew when they penetrated and we helped that they would get out to their shooters, and their shooters were hitting shots. So, we just said that we had to rotate a little bit quicker, and we did. And we just came out, we played good defense. Like I said, we played with a lot of intensity, and we got the first game out the way.
Well, they're very young. It hasn't been all that long since you were very young. 3 years ago in the playoffs. Did you see any jitters on their part? Did you see anything that reminded them of maybe the Magic 3 years ago when you were coming into your first NBA playoffs?
I don't know. I just know that, Magic, we came out and played. We played great defense, and we got the first one, out the way.
All right. Thanks so much, Shaq. Back to you, Bob. Hubie.
Thanks, Kevin Kiley. Shaquille O'Neal tonight with 21 points. At the beginning of the game, we said look out for O'Neal and Hardaway. Well, that proved to be true, and Penny will be with us in just a moment when we return to Orlando.
National Geographic Explorer, 9 Eastern, every Sunday night, only on TBS.
You said you had fished here before. Don't start me.
You're lost, aren't you?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on, you can admit it.
No.
Come on, tell me.
I'm not lost. I know where we are. I know it's here.
And on that day, a team of men was assembled to battle the forces of evil. Au revoir.
Orlando, the third highest scoring team in the NBA in the regular season, gets 112 points against the tough Detroit Pistons, who were second best defensively. The problem is if you stop Shaquille or Horace Grant or Nick Anderson or, well, there's always Penny Hardaway. 18 points, 9 assists, no turnovers, 3 out of 4 from three-point land. And as you sat down, Hubie said to you, you look a little down. How do you feel? And you said you're not feeling well physically.
Well, I'm not. I gained a cold like 3 days ago, and my chest has been hurting a little bit, but, you know, I'll make it.
Tonight, you draw Grant Hill. What's going through your mind? What was your game plan within the team's plan?
Well, my game plan was, when I found out Grant Hill was guarding me, was just to take him to the basket as much as possible and try to get him into foul trouble, because he runs their offense, and he's the head of their offense, that I would have him tired if he was by guarding me. So what I wanted to do was just make him work hard on the defensive end, and then when he went on the offensive end, not have enough energy to run the offense for them.
Well, let's talk about this third quarter. You guys came out with a vengeance. I have never seen Shaq attack the screen and roll like that and force the man coming off the dribble almost out the half court.
Well, going into halftime, they had gained a lot of confidence, and the score was tied, and we went in and said that if we didn't get them in the third quarter, then it would be a long night. So everybody committed themselves in the third quarter, and we got a big lead on them.
Orlando takes a 1-0 lead. As you look at game number 2 coming back here just quickly, you have a day off tomorrow to rest, then on Sunday. As you look at game 2, Detroit known and Doug Collins for making really good adjustments. Any particular thought you have with your team for game number 2?
Well, we're going to have to definitely make some adjustments. They got some easy baskets on us there in the first half, and went in tired up at halftime, and we just have to make a quicker rotation. I'm sure we're going to go in and watch film and see what we did wrong in the first half and then try to adjust it, because they're going to adjust.
All right, hope you feel better. Take some antibiotics or whatever the doctor says.
Thank you.
See you Dr. Neal, Dr. Brown here with advice here. Don't listen to us. 112-92. Orlando gets the win tonight. Penny Hardaway with the cold. 18 points, 9 assists, 3 out of 4.
Elle devient plus petite.
Ogni giorno la rete globale di computer.
Pošperaj po dalekej starej bibliotece.
Gerðu litlu búin á Zavalins að smá fjölþjóðafyrirtæki.
Curioso? Vil-IBM veamos dem.
Just plug in.
Com esse, o Diego.
Want it hot? Look for the dot. The ultimate deep dish. Take a shot. A definite wow. Tell us how. Big as a dunk, sweet as a swish. The ultimate deep dish.
Get up to 3 toppings on a medium, just $8.99. Any second medium, $4.99.
Call us now. Time to chow. Domino's Ultimate Deep Dish Pizza. Hot wow now.
For hot and wild, call Domino's.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by Isuzu, makers of incredible four-wheel drives, including the Isuzu Rodeo, Amigo, and the remarkably luxurious Isuzu Trooper. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
112-92. Orlando goes up 1-0 in this 5-round series, Eastern Conference first round. Second seed Orlando, 7th seed Detroit is tied at 47 at the half. Then the Magic 33-17 in the third quarter, really delivering the knockout blow. The three-pointers, Dennis Scott had 6 of them for Orlando. Shaw and Hardaway handling the ball so beautifully, only 2 turnovers. They were both by Shaw. Hardaway had none. Up next on TBS, it's game 1 between the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls. For Kevin Kiley and Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal saying good night from Orlando.
My brakes are gone. Any chance I could get that fixed in a couple of hours?
Tell you what, leave it here. I'll see what I can do. Check in periodically.
I was wondering, how's my car coming?
I have 3 of my best guys on it right now.
With Pep Boys 12 service bays and expert technicians, you're in and out fast. 26,000 items, tires, and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Now there's